All right, so this is the first time that we are live, L-I-V-E, those of you who can spell, that we are live in the kitchen. Okay, I figured I would go live just to see what would happen. Just to see what would happen if I went live here. I don't even have all the lights on, but that can be easily fixed. One little plug is all it takes. There we go. All right, so I just finished the show. Are we actually live? Yeah, we're live. Okay, so we're ready to rock and roll. I think I might make some bread tonight. And if anybody wants to actually see what the heck I do, let's move the chocolate cake. There's chocolate cake here. There's chocolate cake here. Do I have the other cameras hot? Let's see. Yeah. The other cameras are hot. Hot diggity dog. Okay, so the other cameras are hot. All right, just finished the big show on the other channel, and I figured since I'm all wired up, let's see what happens if I actually come in here. The camera's over there, not over there. So, there we go. We got a thumbs up. So somebody has come in. So I'm debating whether to roll with it or not. If I roll with it, I will make some bread. If I don't roll with it, I'm just testing to see what will happen if I go live. This is after the main show. So it's 12:43 here in Miami. This is Peter Gregg. I'm in Peter's kitchen. Now I'm just babbling while I'm thinking out loud. What do I have to do to make bread? I got to put all this stuff in that pot. Then I got to put this pot in the oven, and we'll see what happens. So I'm not sure if this is a smart thing to do, but it's too warm in here because I got the air conditioner off. So let's take off this one shirt. Actually, it's a heavy shirt, and make it cooler in here. And what else do we have to do? We have to come over here. I got to put an apron on so I don't dirty this red shirt. So do I got an apron? Yeah, I've only got one apron. So it is Friday night. So why don't we just live a little bit, put the apron on, and make some bread? That's all I could say. Make some bread. So I got my flour. Oh, one of the flowers is dying. It's kind of like, it's nice to have flowers in the kitchen. I don't know, I kind of grew up that way, where there's always, so if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm trying to tie this stupid apron. It's supposed to bring the apron strings in the front. So you just bring them around and you tie it right here. Right? Makes sense? No, not this apron. All right, so if I'm going to make bread and I'm going to do it live, then I need to get all my ducks in a row, okay? So just like in the movies, first thing you got to do is boil water. They're having a baby? Go boil water. You got an A on your test? Go boil water. You won the lotto? Go boil water. I don't know. That's the answer to everything in the movies is go boil water. So we're going to actually bring some water to a boil. You surprised to hear that one? Okay, so let's get some water. Bring it to a boil. I'm going to rinse this pot. Not actually going to use this water, so I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to put the fire on. I guess I'm going to have to narrate everything I'm doing, because normally this stuff is edited. So this is a little bit different because this is unedited. So if I actually stick my finger in the cake like that, oops. So I do have the scrolling cameras here too. Watch. Okay, so now they're going to go round and round. We got one person here. I got a thumbs up. Say hello. This way I can see what it looks like. I'm not going to bite your head off. There's nobody else here. So you don't have to worry about it. Say hello. It's H-E-L-L-O. Or Ola. O-L-A-H-A. One of those. Okay, so now I'm getting warm water coming up. What am I going to do with the warm water? I'm going to put a little bit in here. Maybe a quarter to a half a cup. Okay, now I am going to put this in the bread, so I'm going to rinse this out, make sure everything is nice and clean. Okay, so there's just a little bit of warm water. Okay, I'm going to actually heat the glass, because this is kind of like a Pyrex. So even if I put really hot water in there, if the Pyrex is cool, it's going to cool down what we're actually wanting to warm up. So even though I'm using instant yeast, I'm actually going to proof the yeast. I'm going to let it fizzle up. I've spent too much time in the past making a bread where the yeast was not happy, and therefore it made me not happy. Okay, so the cameras are going around on their own. And all right, so I've got very warm water. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to preheat my oven, and I want to preheat it to 170 degrees. Yeah, you heard that right. This is not going to be a very orthodox method of making bread. I can give you that warning right now, okay? So I am going to actually lower this oven thing, which you can't really see, okay, because I'm not in the camera, but I'm going to lower this oven thing and bring it to the lowest position in the oven. Okay, I got these two temperature things here. They don't want to stand up. Okay, so now we're preheating the oven. We got water boiling. We got hot water here. I got yeast. You got yeast? I got yeast. Okay? So I'm going to put the yeast into the hot water. That's 3 tablespoons, level tablespoons of yeast. And I'll bring this over here. So, sorry I didn't clean the kitchen. I wasn't planning on going live, but I just finished doing a 2-hour show on my other channel where we talk about cameras. Okay? So now I'm going to put a little sugar in with the yeast, maybe a half a teaspoon. Okay, and put it right in there, and now I can put the teaspoon. This is a plate of clean stuff. Okay, I could put the sugar back in the cabinet, and now I can use the boiling water that I got going over there. I can let this stand, but I just can't do it. I just gotta stir it up. Okay, so I'm going to stir the yeast up so it liquefies, and I'm going to watch it bubble, and it's basically for my own satisfaction because you don't technically need to do this. This is instant yeast. Okay, I don't even know what brand I use, but if you put in Canadian yeast, you'll find it's something with an I, and that's the one that I'm using. Starts with the letter I. The brand starts with the letter I. So now you can get mesmerized and watch that yeast rise, okay? You can do that all by yourself. Now I'm going to just rinse this off real quick so that if I have to stir anything up again, which I will be starting with a clean thing. Everybody should have a clean thing. Okay, so now I'm going to get buttermilk. So here's the buttermilk. Okay, the buttermilk is cold right out of the refrigerator. Not going to pour it in there. I want 2 cups of buttermilk. So that's 1. Boy, it looks like I have just, golly gee whiz, Batman, just enough. All right, so that's 2 cups of buttermilk. I'll close this up, and I'll drink the rest of this buttermilk later. Buttermilk is delicious. If you guys don't have buttermilk, you're missing out. Okay, so now I'm going to rinse this off. Okay, so this is a sweet bread that I'm making. It's actually it's a mimicking of a Greek bread, a Greek sweet bread, except I have completely discombobulated and rewritten the recipe, and I have completely changed how the whole thing is going to get put together. So a Greek would probably take their gun and shoot me, but hey, it's my show. What do you want from me? All right, so let's see. We still got one person in here according to that, and you're still shy. You won't even type in and say hello. Okay, so fine, I'll stay here by myself. All right, so now I'm going to put this on the boiling water, and I want to bring that up till it's quite warm, maybe 130 degrees. By golly, I have this temperature thing here so I can figure out what the temperature is. I'm going to put the rest of this buttermilk back in the refrigerator. Okay, and now just for fun, I'm going to tell you what the temperature of the butter is. Okay, I mean the buttermilk. Okay, it's 50 degrees, so it's climbed a little bit. It's on a double boiler to kind of protect my behind a little bit. All right, because I have a tendency to burn things like Sly. She has a tendency to burn things too. Okay, and I will keep this handy. So let me find my iPhone. Golly gee whiz, Batman, where is my iPhone? I'm going to go into my room and find the iPhone. iPhone, where are you? Oh, I found it. All right, I'm back. I'm back in here. We've got one person here and 2 thumbs up. I don't know how that works. So somebody knows more than me. Okay, let's see what kind of temperature we've got going over here. We'll put these phones over to the side. I don't think anyone's going to call in the middle of the night, but let me tell Sly that I'm live. I went live on Peter's Kitchen to make some bread, and I'm live just to test the whole thing out. So you can watch if you want. Smiley face. Okay, I will send that to Sly. And I need to find Randy and tell Randy. Randy. There he is. Okay. I went live on Peter's Kitchen. I'm making bread. I figured I'd do it live to see what the heck happens. Smiley face. Okay. Those are 2 of very close friends. I guess I'll keep this out. All right, so let's do a temperature test on the buttermilk. I want the buttermilk to warm up to about 130 degrees. Okay. We're at 133 degrees. Actually, we're at 119. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I want to bring up all the temperature of all the liquid. So I'm going to put 3 eggs in here. If I can open it, I will put 3 eggs in here. Okay. All right, I just added the 3 eggs. Okay, I'm going to mix them up. So I break the yolks. The yolk is on me. I just spilt it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so let's see what kind of temperature we got. All right, so we're at 123 degrees now. I try to bring it up around 130. Okay, so I've got all the 3 eggs stirred in. So what I want to do now is I want to put the sugar. Now I'm making, if this is possible, I'm making this a little healthier. I'm using honey granules and something called sucernut. Randy, I could see your comment, but I can't get to the mouse. Okay, but thank you for coming in and watching. Okay, so I'm going to put a cup, actually 3/4 of a cup of honey and 3/4 of a cup of something that's called sucernut. Okay, so if there is such a thing, sucernut is a healthier sugar. They take the sugar cane, they extract the sugar, then there's no chemical stuff that's done to it, and it's paddled. It's mixed with a paddle over a hot fire until it becomes a thick syrup, and then it's poured out and ground up. No bleach, no chemicals. They're using healthy sugar cane. What do they call that? Organic. So now I'm taking a cup of honey granules. I'm not using liquid honey. I'm using honey granules and a cup of sucernut. But I'm not really using a cup of each. I'm using 3/4, so just a little bit less on each. Okay, because I basically want a little more sugar sweetness than 1 cup will give. So I'm mixing the honey granules, and I'm mixing the sucernut granules. They basically just look like fat granules of sugar. Okay, so now I'm going to turn off the fire, and this has been brought up to temperature. So now I'm going to open this up. I will change. Oh, Sly's in here too. By gosh, I can barely read that. Sly says, I'm watching you. Sly says, I got you on, but I'm making dinner. Then, so I'll be in and out. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to pour the warmed buttermilk, the 3 eggs, and the sweetener, which is 3/4 of a cup of sugar, but not real sugar. I'm using sucernut, not the processed sugar. Okay, and I'm going to pour it into, this is called an Anchor Shroom. Anchor Shroom is the maker of this mixer. Okay, so I'm going to rinse this out because I know from the past sugar has a tendency to get hard when it cools. Okay, so I'm just going to let that fill up. Got to make sure that the Anchor Shroom is plugged in, and it is not. So let's plug this guy into the wall. Plugged in. Okay, let's lower the speed down, turn it on, and let me make it so you can see. How do I make it so you can see? Like that, like that. Yeah, that's one way. All right. So, I don't know, it looks tilted to me. I don't think we need to run the hot water anymore. Okay, so, all right. So this is the Anchor Shroom. I will let this mix up a little bit while I try to figure out what I'm going to do next. Okay, so where's my recipe? My recipe is right here. All right, Randy's saying something. Use your iPad to read the comments while you are in the kitchen. That's a good idea, but I can't walk out of here right now. Okay, so when I get the chance, I will do that. All right, so I'm going to turn that off. Okay, so we're going to use some flour. The last time I did this, I used bread flour, and I was happy with the results. So I'm going to use bread flour again, and I'm going to open this up and try. Let me get back. Let me get back. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a break for a second. Not that kind of a break. I'm going to come over to the computer, and there's a few things that I need to do. All right, number one is I need to set up some moderators. Okay, so that's important. We got 5 people in here. Holy cow. Golly gee whiz, Batman. Okay, so how do I get to see where I'm at? I need to view my post. Okay, I'm a clicking. Okay, it's opening. It's opening. It's opening. Okay. So Randall says, I'm watching. Oh, am I not signed in here? No, I'm signed into the wrong one. All right, so let's go over, switch account, go over to Peter's Kitchen, because that's where I went live. Uh-oh, I better lower the volume or we're going to get some serious feedback. All right, so let me mute this guy. Quiet, Peter. Okay, now. Okay, so now I'm going to go to YouTube Studio and I'm going to see if I could find this live feed. Okay, just relax. There's nothing special going on here. Okay, this is the dashboard. I don't want the dashboard. I'm already at the dashboard. I don't want the playlist. I want YouTube Studio. That is not YouTube Studio. I guess this is the first time I've been in here, so this is going to give me a hard time. Okay, so let's go. Let's close everything down. I'm working on the computer right now, guys, in case you're wondering, what the heck is he doing? Okay, give me a break. All right, first of all, this is not, okay, there it is, content. All right, so now I'm in content. I'm going to go to live and nope, I'm still on the wrong channel. Okay, switch channels, go to Peter's Kitchen. Okay, we're in Peter's Kitchen now. Okay, so now I want to go to content. I want to go to live. There it is. I found it. Don't get up. I found it. Okay, so I need to go to the show. No. Okay, so I need to get the link to the show, copy it, go over here, paste it in. All right, now I'm going over to the show. So I'm not making bread right now, guys. I'm actually spending my time coming here. So now I can see the comments. All right, so we got Randy, and I can add him as a moderator. So now, Randy, you have been added as a moderator. All right, Sly, add as a moderator. Okay, Sly, you have been added as a moderator. Okay, so the next time you guys comment, you should actually see a moderator position there. So now I actually got 2 moderators in the room, okay, and that would be my 2 favorite moderators. Okay, so let's close this down and get back to business. All right, so while I'm over here, making sure, you know what I want to do? I think I want to add the overhead camera into the rotating list. I don't know if that's going to be dangerous or not, but at least for this one, okay. All right, so the one called guest is black. All right, so this one here, I want to make a copy of this guy and temporarily move him down into the auto section. Okay, so it will spin along with the others. All right, I need to give it a time. So how long should I do the, let's make it, we'll make it 15 seconds. Like I did with the other show. All right, so 15 seconds. That's 5 seconds. 15 seconds. Okay, take the 10 minutes out. Go to the next scene. Okay. All right, so now this is going to be able to cycle through when I'm on the auto settings. All right, just taking care of business, guys. Don't get all upset. This is the first time I've ever gone live with this one, so there's a few things, like I wanted a moderator or 2 in the room, just to make me feel more comfortable, and I want the cameras to be rotating, and I've got this in hand. Okay, so now back to business. So Sly says, I've only got 45 minutes till I have to head back to Miami. Oh, you were in Miami? Okay, back to the kitchen. That's fine. You do what you want. This is just for fun. I don't know. I have no clue who is watching anything around here. So let's go back to mixing. Okay, so I can add up to 6 cups of flour. Okay, I need to watch you and not watch myself. Okay, so this is bread flour. I'm going to find my scooper, my pooper scooper. There it is. Make sure it's dry, out, inside and out. Good. All right, so I'm going to stop this, and I only stop it because I don't like the cloud that the flour makes. So that's 1, 2, looks like 2 plus a little bit more. So let's make 3 a little bit less. Okay, so that's 3. And I'll put 3.5. So I can go up to 6 according to the recipe. This is a recipe I made, so I can change it anytime I want. Okay, so now I'm going to let this incorporate. So am I going through the yeah, it's going round and round by itself. Okay, I mean the cameras, not this. This is going round and round by itself too. Okay, so now I'm incorporating 3.5 cups of flour in here, and I actually do want the overhead camera so you guys can see what's happening. All right, so this is incorporating. Now with this machine, you bring it to the center, and it will draw everything over. Okay, so now let's check the temperature of this. 108 degrees, perfect, 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 perfect. So I still got more flour to incorporate. Okay, let's pick up the speed a little bit. Okay, so that's about half power. Okay, I'm going to pull this wheel off about 1 inch and lock it into place. So now it's got a roller that's going round and round. Oh, not that far out. Right about there. Okay, lock that into place. Okay, now I'm going to add, where is my little, there it is. Okay, I'm going to add the yeast in here. In you go, in you go, in you go. Okay, so I've just added my proofed yeast, got a nice head of beer right up on top. All right, and I'm putting that right in here. I'm narrating this as I'm doing it. I've never done that part before either. That means I'm going to talk through this whole video or whatever it is, but I'll have a recorded video that I can actually edit later on. Okay, so I'm going to rinse this out also, just to make cleanup better for later. Okay, so the name of this mixer is called Anchor Shroom. It was built in the 40s, or started in the 40s by Electrolux. Then they lost interest in it, and somebody bought it out and considered it, or continued it as Anchor Shroom. Okay. All right, so now we're mixing that in. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and add it into the mix. There we go. Okay, salt and baking powder. So easy to bake when you put everything out ahead of time. How amazingly cool is that? Okay, so now we're going to go with cup number 4. Boom, 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 boom. So yes, sifted flour and flour that I'm just scooping out of the bag is 2 different measurements. However, I could tell when I have enough flour in here by pulling this to the center, and it all follows the center spindle like it all balls up. Okay, so this is cup number 5. Okay, now I'm going to pick up the speed a little bit. Okay, so now we should be getting close to what we need. So I've got cup number 6 ready, but I'm not ready to put it in. Okay, I'm going to pull this. See how it pulls away from the side and it balls up around that? All right, that means we are almost at the point where we don't need any more flour. Okay, so I see some activity. Randall's giving me a thumbs up. Sly says, okay, you got 45 minutes. Charles is here. Hi, Charles. I can't, but it's hard for me to read from here to the corner of the room. I can't believe I'm watching Peter show me how to get fat. Yeah, well, if you make this bread, you will. This is wonderful bread. So I'm going to add just a teaspoon of sugar up until I could see it changing consistency. Okay, now the next part's going to be really boring. Okay, because we're going to need this for 8 minutes. Okay, so now when I pull it away, see how it balls right up? That means technically I have the correct amount of flour in here. But I like it a little denser, so I'm going to add just a little bit more flour. Not a lot, just a couple of teaspoons. All right, before I do that, I want to add the butter. I always add the butter at the very, very end. Don't ask me why. I learned that from someone, and I've just followed it all the rest of my life. All right, so I'm getting the butter. All right, so this is room temperature butter. I'm unwrapping it. I forgot, I'm supposed to be narrating it. Okay, so that's 1 lump of butter right there. This is gooey. Here's another lump of butter right there. You see the butter going around and around? How fun. This is another lump of butter right there. Another lump of butter right there. Another lump of butter. So the recipe calls for 1 stick of butter. So I have cut the butter up into pieces. I let it stay out while I did my show on the other channel. So this butter is completely, totally, 100% room temperature now. And now it's in the kneading process. Okay. So I'm going to pull it away from the end a couple of times. See how it follows right in? And now I'm going to bring it up to speed, and we're going to knead it for 8 minutes. So you're going to have 8 minutes of boredom now. Okay. I see somebody where I can't really read your name. Secret Stuff or something. This is a variation of Greek bread. It's called sureki bread. Okay, the true Greek version of it. However, I'm doing Peter's version of it, breaking all the rules, as you'll see as we go on. But I still get bread that everybody likes. So now we are kneading on a timer for 8 minutes. Oh my God, that means I gotta talk to you for 8 minutes and have nothing to say. Okay, so the next step where I'm going to break the rules is I'm starting to put some of this stuff away so I stay clean here. All right, so let's see what the dishwasher is doing. Let me put some of this stuff into the dishwasher. All right, so if you guys have made bread before, all right, you know that you proof bread for a few hours. Well, I don't proof bread for a few hours. I don't want to take a few hours to proof the bread. I want to proof the bread my way. So I learned a new method from a lady that's a professional at this type of stuff. Her name is Ashley McCord, and she has basically answered all my questions every step along the way and made it so that I don't take that kind of time. So I'm basically going to proof this bread in a 170-degree oven, and I'm going to proof it for 30 minutes. Okay, and then after that, I'm going to make it into the loaves, put it into the pan, and then let it rise again. So you guys, you need to be spending the night with me. Okay, so we can go to the revolving cameras now. Okay, so you can watch what I'm doing, and I'm basically loading up the dishwasher with dirty stuff so I can keep a clean counter. I don't really have anything else to do while I'm doing this. Okay, so I have to let it the bread to knead. All right, so I got the cameras automatically changing with each other. Every 15 to 20 seconds, you're going to get a different view. Okay, so I'm going to take some flour and I'm going to put it in this bowl, back in bowl, okay? And I'm going to use that when I am going to play with this on the counter, okay? So I have a silicone pad and all that kind of good stuff where I can put it on, but I found working on the counter directly, okay, is going to make a mess on the counter, but I only got one thing to clean up at that point, okay? So I'm watching this as it happens, okay, just for fun. I'm going to pull it away, see how it balls up right in the center, okay? So this is the only machine that actually mimics the knuckle, which camera am I on? Kneading action. So when you fold and you knead and you fold and you knead, that roller is like a bunch of pictures. I'm sorry, it's like a bunch of knuckles, not pictures. All right, I need a clip. I need a clip to lock this down. Okay, I found it. Don't get up. I found a clip. Okay. So I don't think I'm going to add any more flour to that. So I'm just going to put this flour in this silver bowl. Okay, and go in here. So secret stuff, it's hard to read across the room. What is that machine? That's a great question. I should have told you that. I think I might have mentioned it before. This machine is called an anchor shroom. I started to give the history. It was made by Electrolux until they got bored with it. And I don't know, I think they sold it to their employees. And so they took off I think in the middle of the 60s and changed the name from Electrolux to a couple of different names until it arrived at the name that it has now, which is Anchor Shroom. So that's A-N-K, I feel like I'm at a spelling bee. A-N-K-A-R-S-R-U-M. So it's kind of like anchor and rum. So anchor is A-N-K-A-R-S, anchors. A-N-K-A-R-S-R-U-M. I think you could find it on, what's the name of that big shopping place? Amazon. Okay, so let's move this chocolate cake out of the way because I'm going to need this counter. Okay, I don't need to be taking temperatures anymore, so I'm going to put this in the drawer. But I brought all the liquids up to 130 degrees. I put 120 degrees into warm water and proofed the yeast. Let me step away from here. And proof the yeast. And then I put the yeast in after I put about half the flour or a little bit more than half the flour. So Sly says I'm back. And corn on the cob. That means you nuked it. You stuck the corn on the cob. Actually, you know what? We had corn on the cob for dinner. I put it 15 minutes in the pressure cooker under pressure, and 15 minutes later, oh my God, we had the best, the most amazing corn that you ever wanted to see. It was so tasty, okay? Now, you see how this is starting to ball up? If you do it right, you want that balling up action to start happening right at the end of your 8 to 10 minutes of proofing in this, of kneading in this machine. Okay, so you notice how it's getting where it's making the gluten and stuff. That's what you want to happen. So hopefully the timing on this will come out just right. If I feel it needs a little more kneading, there's a button on the front, so I can turn that and check it out. So we've got Sly says I'm back. She had the corn. Randy says beef and broccoli for me. Sam says Yasu Peter, que tá bem Yasu, post cani. Okay, I'm doing a little bit of a tsureki, but I'm not following Mama's recipe. I'm following Peter's recipe because Peter is a little bit stubborn. So I make my own recipe, but I get a help. Okay, this is a fake accent. I don't have a Greek accent, okay? But I can drop into a Greek accent just like that. All right, so where's my mouse? I lost my mouse. Okay, so I'm surprised we got so many people in here in the middle of the night. I wasn't going to make bread. I wanted to see what this live thing was about. I did the live show on the other. All right, so are we on the rotating cameras? Yeah. So I'm going to scrape a little bit off the side very carefully, okay, because like any other mixer, it can cause a problem, okay? Now, I don't know if you're watching this. Okay, let me turn it on again real quick. I said turn it on again real quick. Okay, so you notice how this is starting to actually, when this arm starts to go back and forth, okay, on its own, it's actually making the gluten and the ball is getting firmer, okay? But this kneading action is actually going to make very soft bread. So soft, it kind of like just, it melts in your mouth, okay? So you see how it looks in here? No, you don't, because I don't have that camera on. Okay, there we go. All right, so let me turn that camera on. Okay, so you see how it's starting to change consistency, and you see how this is starting to move around on its own. All right, that means basically we have kneaded this bread enough. So I'm letting it go for another minute. Okay, and then I'm going to put it in the oven to proof. What? You're going to put it in the oven to proof? Malista. Yes, just to follow me. This is my recipe. It's not your recipe. Okay, so you see how this thing is doing? See how it wants to go back and forth? Okay, that means it's done, basically. All right, so let's go to the rotating cameras. Okay. So when this handle starts to go back and forth, that means you have kneaded it enough. And we have formed the gluten. Okay, now I'm not a scientist. This is by people teaching me on what to do. Okay, and the person that is teaching me is actually the person, I'm going to loosen this knob. I'm going to pull this away. Now I'm going to pull this off. I'm going to scrape this. Hey, I got stuck to a paper towel. I'm going to scrape this down. Of course, when you're nervous, it's all going to go wrong, right? Down into the pot. Okay, come on, go, 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 go. Seriously? Okay, going to put this in some water. I'm going to take the kneading roller and I'm going to try to scrape as much of the stuff off as I can. So I'm a scraping. I'm a professional scraper right at the moment. What's your job in life, Peter? I'm a scraper. Oh, okay. So it's pretty clean. Now, I don't know if you could see this. I got to get onto the right camera, the correct camera. Okay, so let's put this in the water. All right, let's go to the other camera for a second. Okay. Now you see this roller? You see how it basically is kind of like a curved, like it's doing a twist? Those are acting like knuckles. So it just basically made the kneading action for me with a 600 watt motor, okay? So I don't know why I'm spending so much time on the machine, but it basically does the work that I need it to do. Okay, so what am I going to do next? All right, so here I'm going to break another rule. So everybody who's watching that's a bread maker kind of person, don't take a dump. All right, I don't want to see soiled underwear. So I have preheated the oven before I started any of this stuff. Let me do a quick check. Okay, the yeast, the water, the sugar, 2 cups of buttermilk. It calls for 1.5 cups of honey, but I basically put more, okay, because I want it sweeter. A tablespoon of salt, okay. I got a teaspoon of baking powder, 6 cups of flour, of which I've used less, 1 stick of butter, and 3 eggs. Okay, so I'm going to take this, I'm going to put this into a 170-degree oven. What? You're going to kill the yeast. Hey, don't get your panties in a wad, okay? And I'm going to run this for a 30-minute timer at 170 degrees. And I guess I shouldn't have the camera in there that's going to do the machine anymore, because there's nothing going to be there to watch. So how do I take this out? Let me make this a temporary folder. Where did the folder go? Okay, so that's the camera I want to move out of the rotating machines. So I'm going to go over to the computer for a second, guys. You'll be able to hear me. Don't get upset. Oh, now I could see. Sam Andrews said Yasu Peter. Secret stuff. See, I can't read this TV from across the room. And Randy said to get the iPad, which I can go get right now. Okay, so where did I made? I'm going to call a temporary folder. Those of you guys that are interested in this stuff, let me turn on the view so you can see what I'm actually doing. Okay. Install system. No. Install later. Don't want to do that. All right. So I don't know. Did I make it so you could see what I'm doing? Yeah, I'm in live demo mode, I think. Hi, Jean. I could see you. Stop laughing at me, Jean. I could see you, Janine. Janine, sorry. You're laughing at me. Stop. I'm already scared doing this live, okay? So this is going to... this is sharing the doo-doo out of me, so leave me alone. All right, I need to give it permission. Okay. Hopefully you're seeing all this. So now we're into camera stuff. Okay. So I'm unlocking that and I'm giving this permission. I'm not going to do that. And then I'm going to lock it again. I'm going to close this. And what did I come over here for? I want to take the camera out that is actually doing, yeah, the Anchor Shroom secret stuff. You got a name? Tell me your name. $700. What do you think a high-end KitchenAid mixer is going to cost? Sorry, I thought you were a pro. I fooled you. All right, Janine. But I make really good bread. It's usually gone within a couple of hours after I bake it. Okay, so I am at the computer right now. I'm trying to move something into this temporary folder, and I'm not doing a very good job of it, okay, because I kind of lost the camera that I wanted to move. All right, so it's an auto camera, and it's the one, okay, here's the auto camera. Okay, so I've got the Olympus, that's the one. Okay, who is it? All right, you move into the temporary folder. Okay. Oh, you know what I can do? I could tell it to stop. What a good boy I am. Okay, so you guys are working with me because I'm just kind of moving stuff around. Okay, I think I got it. So the cheaper way is to use your knuckles. Absolutely, positively. But Charles, you forget boys and their toys? Don't give me this knuckle crap. Okay? Not even coming from you who buys every stinking toy that comes across your path that has the word Fuji on it. So when I want a really high-end mixer, this is what I got. I got me a really good one. This is the Anchor Shroom. I love it. I can make bread. I can make all kinds of stuff in here. And it separates me from all the KitchenAid people. All right? And it works better. I've done this with the dough hook in the KitchenAid. As a matter of fact, one of the accessories that comes with this machine is actually a dough hook. So bread bakers is people in Georgia that make bread. And I have followed them for years now, and I have learned how to make bread from them. Now, they don't even do this step. They actually go from this pot, they form it, okay, they let it rest, they form it, they let it rise one time, and then they bake it. So I'm going to go through a rise twice because I just can't bring myself to get rid of the second rise. So now is a good time for me to go get that iPad. So give me 1 second. Gee, if I had to go pee, this would be a great time, but I don't. Everybody can rest. I don't have to go. Okay, so, all right, I got my iPad. Okay, how do I turn this thing on? Okay, here's my secret passcode, 67324. Okay, so if anybody steals this iPad, now you'll know how to get into it. All right, so let's see. Now I have to entertain you for how many more minutes? 27 more minutes because we're proofing now. This is live. I can't edit it out until I'm done. So you're spending the night with me. If you don't want to spend the night with me, go, okay? So that is, Randy was giving me a thumbs up. Thank you, Randy. All right, now let's see if I can find myself being live over here. What company is this? Oh, YouTube. YouTube in Ekenurio. It's something new. So I'm looking for a YouTube, and I see this is a Peter's Kitchen. I'm a Peter. This is my kitchen, okay? Now, why when I push the button? This is a Peter's Kitchen. I'm a Peter. This is my kitchen. You can hear me. Okay, I better lower that because all we're going to do is get feedback. Oh, I can see. I can see. Thank you, Randy. So Randy said beef and broccoli for me. Sam Andrews Chronicles said Yasu Peter. Kita Yasu Suipa. Janine is laughing. Secret Stuff says that Anchor Shroom. It's a high-end machine. This is the highest end consumer kitchen machine you can get. I'm not selling these guys. I don't even get a commission. So I'm just sharing what I know. Okay, you could do the same stuff with the KitchenAid. So Janine was laughing at me, and I told her stop because I'm nervous. Okay, and she said, "Sorry, I thought you were a pro." Charles says the cheaper way is Knuckles, and I love that machine. Thank you, thank you. Secret Stuff says, "I have the KitchenAid. This is the first time I have ever heard of an Anchor Shroom." Well, you know what? I never heard of it either. I'm a guy. I never cooked until my mother got sick. And then my dad got sick, and I had to take care of them. Okay, so am I still where you could see everything? Well, let's shut that thing off. Okay. All right, so the live demo is off. Sorry, guys. I meant to show you how I can do this and then get back on here. All right, so now we're back to the full screen where it belongs. See, I make the mistakes. I don't know why I make the mistakes, but I make the mistakes. And sometimes it's a really big, megalo, which is a Greek for big mistake, okay? And sometimes I make a little mistake and I hide it so nobody can see, okay? So I left the options on, and you guys got to see all that crap that was going on, okay? So anyway, sorry, I thought you were a pro. I thought I was a pro too, but then I thought I was taller, and I'm not. So I have a lot of misconceived notions. Charles says he loves the machine. I have the KitchenAid. This is the first time I've heard of the Anchor Shroom. Oh, I started to tell you how I found it. My parents were sick. Both of them, God bless them, they've moved on to heaven. So I got it in my head that I wanted to make it so they were eating healthier. So I started to search healthy type of things because it got to the point where they were not cooking. I was going to do all the cooking, okay? So if they were going to eat the food, I was going to be cooking the food. So I started looking. So I figured, I learned that when the food goes in here in the mouth, okay, it goes through some kind of a process and it comes out on the back end. Shh, don't tell anybody, that's a secret, okay? It goes in one way, it comes out another way completely. Who knew, okay? So now I figured if I can get the food to go through faster, and that would be healthier. And then I learned that, what's his name? John Wayne, after he passed away, they found over 80 pounds of feces like wallpaper lining his intestines. So the more that guy ate, the less he was getting into his system because he couldn't get through all the feces that basically impacted his intestine. So I'm a Christian guy. I don't hide that. Janine, you said, what's up with the Christmas decorations? I like it at Christmas. I have more channels, and they all have the Christmas theme. Okay, so my big channel is actually in the Christmas room. So I got a tree up since 2011. Actually, since 2010. A Christmas tree decorated. I just added bubble tubes. Okay, so it's Peter Gregg. It's all about cameras. So Janine, if you're not into cameras, don't bother. And then I have a live show that I do on Friday nights, which I did tonight. Okay, and it ended at about what, Charles? 12, Randy, Sly? 12:30 maybe? Okay, it's 1:37 now. So I finished the show, and I came in here and I said, you know, I just did a 2.5 hour live show. I wonder how the kitchen will do on a live show. Okay, so I fired it up, and lo and behold, we got 10 people in here. Where did you guys come from? Hello? Okay, I mean, I didn't advertise it or nothing. Nothing, honey, like the cereal. Okay, so as I started to learn how to make bread from real wheat, because that's the wheat that God talks about in his Bible, the Holy Bible. Okay, yes, I am a Christian. All right, so I make fun here and there, but no disrespect is meant. All right, so I started to buy the wheat by the tub, by 5-gallon pails. Okay, so this is what she looks like. Okay, this is what the wheat looks like. So I take this wheat, and this is going to fall, right? That's the wheat. Okay, so let me show you. This is hard white wheat. Okay, hard white wheat. There's two kinds of wheat, and the color is basically what part of the country it's coming from and what color the seeds are. So this is hard white wheat, which has a milder flavor than hard red wheat. Okay, so you could boil wheat. You can do all kinds of stuff with the wheat directly. Okay, so I have an electric mill, and I put this through, and I get my own flour out of the mill. Imagine that, a miracle. Okay, but that's the wheat that God talks about when he's talking about wheat in the Bible. All right, because then you've got all the components that actually scrape out your intestines. So the wheat that we eat, even whole wheat, all right, this wheat has to be ground and used within 2 hours, and after 2 hours, it's at about 3.5 to 4 hours, it's lost over 40% of its live enzymes and its endosperm and whatever's in there. Okay, so they take all the good parts of the wheat, they grind it, and they give us the bag of flour. Okay, so you guys know what a bag of flour looks like. So this is everything taken out of the wheat, and it gets given to the animals. So they get the good stuff. That's why they supposedly stay healthy. And we get only the starch. All we get is the carbohydrates and the starch of the wheat. Okay? Now, when you grind the wheat fresh, fresco, prepi na ine fresco, it's got to be fresh. Okay? And I make the bread. I tell you what, I become very regular. I can tell you that. I don't want to say any more than that on a public television here. All right? So I started making the bread for Mother and Dad. So I found this machine on breadbeckers.com. The mama is Sue, and Sue is an advocate for eating enough wheat to make you regular so that you're healthy. So they don't only make bread, they grind that wheat, they make pancakes, they make muffins, they make tortillas, they got videos. So that's where I learned it. So every time they were making stuff, they were using this machine, and I went, you know, I'm into cameras, so I like toys, boys and their toys, okay? So my mom's got it's right over there, it's a KitchenAid. But this looked really cool. So I bought it. And I've been making bread in this thing since 2013, 2014, somewhere back then. And my mother passed away, so it was a little too late for her, but I started making fresh bread for Pops, okay? And I continue making the fresh bread. Now, little by little, it's actually easier to make the bread with the bagged flour than it is to grind this and go through all that process. But I'm moving back into it because there's too much fat on this boy right here. You know, a little chunky monkey. And I find when I eat this bread, I'm just filling time, okay? We're doing a rise here. We got 18 more minutes of Peter talking, all right? So it's in there and she's rising up right now, okay? So we have got, let's make sure that the oven is, oh yeah, nice and warm in there, 170 degrees. So you talk to a real baker and that's basically blasphemy, okay? 100, you're gonna proof your bread in 170 degrees. You know what I was taught? Anything over 120 kills the yeast, okay? I make this bread over and over and over, so you can rest, all right, if you're a bread person. All right, so, yeah, secret stuff before you go and put it in your cart. Let me add a link on Amazon, so I will get the, you know, they give people a finder's fee. Okay, so I can't do it now while I'm live, I don't think. All right, so wait till it's done, and I will put the link to the anchor shroom there. I don't think I'm going to keep this public. Seriously, guys? Okay, I wasn't planning on doing this right now. I was planning on making bread and going to bed, and Saturday I could sleep late, like you could sleep late. Okay, now I do know sometimes I can't sleep, so I'm staying up and making bread. So let's see. So that's how I found the anchor room, and I bought it. I follow their instructions. They're ahead of most other people, but I have learned little tips and tricks through other people like Randall, who's right here in here. He has taught me stuff because he's actually a baker, and he doesn't fight with me. So when I say I'm doing this or doing that, he doesn't go, "You dumb person. You don't do it that way, you do it this way." Randy's not like that at all, okay? So he just rolls with my crap, basically. And then he'll step in to help me where I can. So, where did I leave off? I think I made it down to... Boy, you guys have been commenting. Okay, a cheaper way is to use your knuckles. Okay, I got to make this bigger, Charles. Sorry. I can't. I can read it now. Dear Lord Jesus, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Lord. Okay, so let's see if it stays. Okay, so Charles says, Charles left. Charles is back. Oh, I remember. I'm doing the wrong thing here. So I can make it as big as I want, but it's not going to save it until I do it the right way. I love that machine. I have the KitchenAid. This is the first time I've heard of the anchor shroom. Christmas decorations. So I explained why. I have Christmas decorations. Sly says, I have a hand mixer. It fits my culinary abilities. In other words, it has an on and off switch. And that's it. That's what Sly can do. Sly makes water. And she does a great job with the water, okay? All right, so I have the hand mixer. I added the anchor shroom to my cart, okay? So I hope you like it. I'll be doing more stuff with this thing on this channel. This channel is usually pre-recorded, just so you know. I went live just for the fun of it. I just finished the 2.5-hour live show. So I came in here, I was closing everything down to go to bed, go to sleep, do what normal people do, and I said, I'm wide awake. I think it's the chocolate cake. Oh, I made chocolate cake, and that will be going up on this channel too, on how to make chocolate cake. You know how I made the chocolate cake? A bag of Oreos and a cup of milk and a couple of other things that I added to it. And I got these chocolate cakes right there, okay? I told you I break the rules. but it's not original. I did see it on YouTube, but they didn't put a teaspoon of baking powder, and they didn't put 2 egg yolks, which I did. They also didn't use buttermilk. They used regular milk. So I made those changes, and I have awesome chocolate cake right here. All right, so where did I leave off? Secret stuff. You gonna tell me your name, dude? Or do this? All right, so I could call you by your name. I don't know if I'll remember it. So secret stuff says, I'm curious now what type of grinder you have. The grinder I have is called the Wonder Mill. I will do a whole proper show, not live. I will cut out all of this crap that I'm just sitting here talking to you now, and make it so it's palatable. So I will use the Wonder Mill. That's also on YouTube. And I put the 3 cups of this makes 4.5 cups of flour. So this recipe, which I have not done yet with the good wheat, okay, but that's what I'm going to try next, because I have a piece of that, a big chunk, like a 1-inch slice of bread every single morning. That and a bowl of Greek yogurt with a little honey on the top, and oh, my breakfast, she's so delicious, you know, what can I tell you? So I use the Wonder Mill, like that's just the way it sounds, wonder, like the wonder of Christmas in a child's eye. They look at it, they don't know what to make of it, but it's magical for them. So it's the Wonder Mill that grinds my wheat, okay? So that's Janine, Christmas decorations, that's cool. I'm all about Christmas, and that's it. If you can't handle it, not you specifically, but people will give me grief. What's wrong with you? What are you, stupid, a man, or what's the matter with you? It's a June. You have a Christmas in your kitchen. I look at your other channel, and she's all a Christmas too. You must be a mental case. Well, you've been listening to me ramble now for what? How many minutes? Maybe I am. I can't sleep either. I ate a whole pizza. Well, dang, Charles, you ate a whole pizza. You didn't share any with me. Okay, I'm not sharing any of the chocolate cake. End of story, okay? I hope it was a good pizza. Where did you get the pizza from? Which store did you get it? A good baker learns from their mistakes. You know something, Randy? I couldn't get a good loaf of bread out of this kitchen to save my life when I stopped and I started to get back into this. And I made like 10 to 15 loaves of bread until I got back into the proper thing. Now I can make a nice bread, you know? That's what I'm telling you. So how are you doing at work, Randy? Everything doing all right? Or are they treating you rough? What's happening over there? I tried to reach you a few times, and when I couldn't get through, I started to get worried a little bit. I need a place to put this. The counter is so clean that she's sliding, okay? So yeah, a good baker does learn from their mistakes. That's Randy. See, now with this software, I could put that up there. So since I have 10 minutes and 40 seconds to go, I'm going to go fix this so that I could put the comments up on the screen properly. Okay, so you're going to have to suffer through this, guys. So if you want to go to bed, go. Go. Wash your hands, brush your teeth, wash behind your ears. Okay, and then have something as a treat before you go to bed. And that's it. That's all she wrote. All right, so first thing I have to do is I have to go all the way up here. I'm fixing it so I can do the comments properly, okay? So I have to unlock all the cameras one at a time, okay? And that's unlocked, that's unlocked, that's unlocked. Okay, so they're all unlocked. So I need to bring in a comment. All right, so let's bring in Randy's comment. All right, so now I'm going to resize Randy's comment. I think I want to keep it nice and big because, you know, when I put it over here, I can read it. I can read it from where I'm cooking. So I'm going to actually keep it big. All right. So where did the comment go? Oh, you know what? This is a brand new Ecamm installation over here. So let me go over to the settings and go to the general. Oh, it's going to take it out after 15 seconds. No. I want the comments to stay up for 120 seconds. Okay, there we go. And there we go. It stays at 120 seconds. Okay, so let's fix the comment from Sly. Okay, let's put it in the center. There it is. Okay, I got the center mark. Okay, so now I will take that comment off. All right, so now if I did this correctly, if I go through, okay, and I'm on the Olympus Zoom, I can bring in Charles' comment. No, it didn't do it. It's supposed to save it. My goodness, who is running this thing? Randy says do ice cream instead. You talking to me? You ain't gonna get no argument out of me. Okay, so not only do I want Charles Richard, I want him, that name to be in yellow so that people know what channel it is. So let's do that. Let's click save. Okay, so now I have Charles Richard, and I will turn that off. If I turn it back on, it saved it there. Do I dare try again with someone else? Hey, it did it. So if I go toast with jelly for backup, that's for Sly. I know that's for Sly. Okay, so now I'm going to lock it and pray to God that I did it right. Okay, guys, just let me lock all the cameras one at a time. Okay. Okay, so let's put on the auto camera and see what happens if I put Randy's toast with jelly. Hey, by golly, I think I did it right. Okay, so what it needs to do is it needs to go through the next camera, and it did. Okay, so what happens is when it changes cameras, I lose the comment. So the proper procedure, if you've got Ecamm, which I don't think anybody in here has Ecamm, is you got to unlock all the cameras, then you got to set them up properly. Let's see how much time we got left to go. All right, 6 minutes and 30 seconds. It's rising. I could see it. I just peeked in there. 6 minutes and 28 seconds. And what I need to do is clean this countertop now, because it's going to come out, and I'm going to get it dirty. I'm going to get it quite dirty. I'm going to be like a boy in the mud, and I'm going to have a good time. Okay? So 30-minute rise at 170 degrees. Okay? It sounds counter to what should be done. I still need a place to put this. I think I have an iPad holder in the Christmas room. Janine, I'm going into the Christmas room. Okay, that's where all of my videos have come from until recently, where I started with the kitchen channel. So I don't know if I can reach all the way in here. You might not be able to hear me. So I'm going to get this little pillow that's made for the iPod, whatever this thing is. I left the cameras on in here. We did a live show tonight. So let me turn off those cameras. If you can hear me or if it's staticky, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So sorry. Okay, I got the pillow. Okay, and now I'm heading back. I'm a coming back. She's a coming back to the kitchen. I don't walk so fast. I kind of walk a little bit slow. So I am slowly walking back to the kitchen. I mean, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, guys. Give me a break. Okay. All right, so I got the pillow. Okay, so this thing that you'll see me in a second, keep your pantyhose on. Okay, this is designed so that I can put it over here. I can lay it on there and look at that. Look at that. It just works perfectly. Of course, it covers that corner, okay? But I can put that there. And then I can read the comments. Sly says, okay, let's test this out, Sly. Okay, let's put your comment up. Oh, look at that. I get to see her. And she's right there. Every woman should have chocolate in the house in case of emergencies. Why just the women? You got something against me because I have a extra equipment? Oh, seriously? I can't have a chocolate? Oh, no, 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 no. I'm failing in that. Ugh, means I have to go to your favorite thing. She has to go to the store. Yeah, I tell you what, if I take this too far away, I can't see it. I found some Ovaltine, one chocolate shape coming up. Be right back. You don't have chocolate syrup, young lady? Sly, I cannot believe you don't have chocolate syrup. What was I doing? I was cleaning up. All right, so let's take the chocolate cake and move it off of the counter here. I'm going to put it on the kitchen table. I have a table, it's called the kitchen table. Okay, I put a chocolate cake over there. She's over there now, okay? Don't get excited. Don't get all frustrated. I also don't need this cup, okay? But it's pretty clean, but let's rinse it out so I can use it for the next one. So the next batch I'm going to make is not going to be tonight, okay? But I do want to make a batch using my own wheat. So... Secret, whatever your name is, did you ever tell me your name so I could just talk to you like a normal human being? Did you tell me your name? And I missed it? Let's check. Let's check. Check, cross check. No. Secret stuff. You could tell me your first name or whatever it is that you want to be called. So then let's say your name is Joe. I could say Joe. Joey! What are you doing, Joey? Okay, so how many people we got in here? We got 10. Not bad for a completely disorganized show. So I'm going to wipe this down. Going to clean this up. This is my recipe. I'll put that in the description too. The recipe that I use with the little notations of the things that I do to make it just a little bit different. Okay, remember I'm mimicking one of my mother's bread recipes. I make it her way, yes, and it comes out awesome. But it takes a whole day to make the tsureki bread. That's the Greek Easter bread. So if you guys want a regular recipe of Greek Easter bread, just put in Greek Easter bread and make it, and don't put, they make a red egg and they put it in the center, because the Greek Easter bread is eaten all year long, okay? It's not just for Easter. We make it for at least once or twice a month, okay? And it goes just like that. How does it go? Just like that. Just like that, okay? All right, so I need more room. All right, so the Instapot, she's a dry. So I'm going to take the Instapot. It's an instant pot. It's not Instapot. Everybody says the same thing. Thank you, Sly, for everything you sent me. I appreciate it. I love you. That's the cozy. I'm going to figure out what to do with that. I could think of a lot of ideas. I wish I was married. Boy, I'd have a good time with that thing. Okay, so I'd stay very cozy with the koozie. Okay, so I'm going to lift up the Instant Pot and I'm going to put it not on the kitchen table, but it's got a shelf spot. It's got a shelf spot just for the, there we go. Okay, so I also got that special Instant Pot Pro. I wonder where I got that from. Where did I get that? I don't know. All right, so now I'm going to move this over because tomorrow I might want to make bread and make it with the ground wheat. Now to keep that machine from sliding around, you get this at Publix, your grocery store. It basically is like a liner for a shelf, but it's rubberized, okay? Okay, so we have completed 30 minutes, so I'll get that out in a second. So I put this underneath the machine, so it kind of locks it. So if you've got any kind of machines, a blender or anything that moves around, or a stereo, I use it for tripods to keep them from sliding off. If I put them on a table that's slick or something, I put this stuff underneath it. It works really, really awesome. Okay, so I'm cleaning up the countertop. You'd think I would have had this done by the time I finished doing everything. I keep a knife here because the knife allows me to tap on the camera on the ceiling in case it moves or changes angles. Okay, so I got my roller. I'm going to flour my roller. This is just so I don't get crap all over everything. This stuff sticks. I kept trying to make it so it didn't stick, and Randy said, no, 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 no. This kind of dough is sticky. So again, Randy came in to the rescue. Okay, so secret stuff. I've asked you your name 10 times. Make up a name. Brian, okay, just tell me one so I could talk to you nice. I'm not going to call you Siki. Okay, Siki says, what? It's a secret. Oh, your name is a secret. Okay, Siki, I don't tell you. I don't want to know your secret name. Okay, God forbid I should know your secret name. Okay, I'm going to put this over here because I'm not going to be able to use it in a minute because my hand is going to be full of flour. Okay, so I'm just going to use the rotating cameras, and I've got 2 of them in there. So let's just see what I've got going on. I got that one and that one. You know what I need? I need another camera. Okay. Oh, I'm going to put the overhead camera back in. I'm going to put the overhead camera back in, and this way you could watch, because I won't be able to come over here and move that stuff. So this is the overhead camera. I'm going to move this back into, where is the rotating cameras? Right there. Right there. Okay. So this is the one. This is the one. Okay. And I'm going to make this one because I'm not going to be centered on just the machine at this point. So I'll make it wider and I'll move it over. Why don't I do this over there where I could see what I'm doing? You'd think I had half a brain. At least a half a brain would figure that part out. Okay, so I'm going to make it so, all right, so where is that camera? Hey, Siki, where did I put my camera? That one. Okay, so when I roll and fidget, you can all see. All right, so I'll leave that camera just like that. Is that all right with you, Siki? No problems? No complaints? Okay. All right, so Sly found some Ovaltine, and she'll be right back. And it's a secret, okay? When somebody asks you your name and you don't want to tell it, honestly, just make one up that you use over and over, like an alias, okay? I don't need to know your name. You can tell I got like I'm personable, so I talk to Randy, I talk to Sly, I talk to Charles. Okay, these are people I know from my other channels that come in. Okay, so now I'm going to flour my countertop. I was going to say desktop. And I'm going to go around and around, and I'm going to feel it up. Oh, I'm a counter pervert. I'm feeling up my counter. Okay. Okay, so the other thing that I need, okay, Randy, are you still with me? Send me a note. Okay, because if you're not here with me, I'm going to need to get my iPhone out of my pocket. Okay, so I'm going to get the scale so I can weigh this dough. Okay, and here's the scale. So Randy, you're not with me. Okay. Oh, you are with me. All right, I'm going to tell you how many grams the dough is. You need to divide it by 4 and tell me the number. Okay? So if it's like 1970 grams, put in 1970 and divide it by 4. Okay? And that'll tell me what I'm going to put in each loaf pan. So I have 4 loaf pans, in case you were wondering why. What's with the 4? Okay. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, surprise! I got 4 loaf brands. Squeaky, I forgot your name. See, if you told me, it wouldn't have mattered. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the little spray in those. This way it falls right out. So spray 1, spray 2, spray 3, spray 4. Now I'm going to turn them around. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and now I'm going to spray the other half. I'm singing. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle. All right, so that is just so that they'll flop right out. Nothing big, nothing major. I actually have, just so you know, I'm just not good enough to handle this properly. I bought this Pam stuff that's horrible cooking spray, all right? It's actually the worst thing ever. Since we're on that, I can show it to you there. I don't know, how can I get closer? Will it stay in focus? Okay, so I threw it out, and then I went and got it out of the garbage. I poured it out into the sink, and I melted some butter, and I put it in here, and I'm able to spray the butter all over everything, okay? Now the problem is, every time I reheat it, I'm melting this thing. So I need to create a butter sprayer thingy, okay? So I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator, and I'm going to actually, thank you for reminding me. I'm glad I explained that. I'm going to get a stick of butter. Where is there a stick of butter? Right here. Because I'm going to butter the top after they come out. That's one of the things that I learned to do. I think Ashley taught me that. She taught me a lot. That's why I trust her. All right, so I need a plate. Okay. And I need to put the little flour on the plate, because when this dough comes out, I'm going to be flouring it heavily because it's just really sticky. Okay, now 170 degrees might not be bad for you, but it's too much for me to handle. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out. I can't pick it up with one hand. Oh, I'm going to have to hit the barbells. All right, so let's put this over here. All right, so that's the dough. Dough, a deer, a female deer. I don't remember the rest of it, but it's a popular song. Do, do, do. Me a name I call myself. Okay, so now I'm going to leave it at 170. Okay, because I'm going to proof it again. So while I still can, let's go over to this camera. So this is what it looks like, okay? It's nice and hot. But as soon as I break through there, it's going to be really, really sticky. Sticky with a capital S, right? Secret, Mr. Secret. Oh, we got somebody new. Nick, I can't read it. Jeez. All right, why don't I put it up there, and then I can read it. Okay, so Nick is here. Mr. Gregg. Hope all is going well. See, you know who I am, so you're probably one of the people that follow me. Sly is back, and Sly is saying, you should join, oh, she's talking to somebody else. You should join the Friday night live stream. That's what I just finished. I just finished doing the Friday night live stream. And then I came in here and decided I'm going to make a stinking loaf of bread. If I knew I was going to do this, Sly, I would have told everybody. But honestly, I closed up everything in the, whatchamacallit, in the Christmas room, shut everything down. Okay, so let's powder this guy up. Okay, now we'll get it all out. Everybody out, come on. Nobody hide in the hole no more. Everybody come out. Sticky, gooey, sticky dough. I wish Ashley was up watching this. She'd be laughing her head off like, that man does not know what he's doing. Well, I wouldn't say that too loud, Ashley, because I basically learned most of this from you. Bam! Okay. I'm just getting all the little bits of dough that I've gotten here. I want it in the bread, not in the garbage. Okay. Bam! There we go again. Peter, what are you doing? I'm getting all the dough out of the bowl. Jeez. Golly gee whiz, Batman. So good. The cameras are still rotating on their own because now my hands are about to get like dirty, dirty, dirty. There's a guy on Twitch that makes donuts, and he does it live every night, and he talks all the way through it, except he started saying some stuff I didn't like, so I basically stopped watching him. But it's a shame because he's really, really a nice guy. And, you know, anyway, I'm not judgmental, but, you know, there's certain things that I don't accept. Okay. Okay, so I'm powdering this probably more than Randy would want me to, but I can't help it. It's just too sticky. I can't deal with it. Okay, so I'm getting it nice and powdery so it stays off of my hands. Okay, so now when I do that, I'm going to move it over. I'm going to powder the counter again. You should be able to see the counter at some point, the rolling cameras. Okay, Randy, are you ready? I'm going to tell you the weight of this dough, and I need to divide it by 4. 1967. Good year. Okay, so now I need to know how much weight to make each one, Randy. So I need 1967 divided by 4, and that will tell me how many grams to make each one. Okay, each loaf of bread that's going to go into the bread pans right there. Hard enough, I don't know how to make bread very well. I'm doing it live on YouTube. This is crazy. Only in America. And I'm doing it at 2:13 in the morning. 492. Okay, there we go. All right, so where's my scraper draper? Right here. Let's get powder on it. Okay, both sides. All right, so I'm just going to eyeball this. Okay, I'm going to go kind of like down the center, cut it. Okay, and now I've got 2 halves. Okay, so you got a baseball and a bat, and you're in a completely locked, sealed room. Okay, how do you get out? No secret doors, no special elevators, no secret passages. Okay, all you've got with you is a bat and a ball. Okay, so can't figure it out? Well, if you don't want the answer, close your ears because I'm about to say it. Okay, so you take the baseball and the bat. Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, you're out. It's a dumb joke, but hey, the best I could do for the middle of the night. All right, so I'm going to cut this in half again. I'm going to flour up. Oh, I got some sticky dough over here. Let's get rid of that. Randy, are you laughing at me yet, buddy? I tell him I make bread, and he probably thinks, yeah, Peter's normal. He makes bread normally. So all it took was 30 minutes to get my first rise. So what's the number I need? 492. Hi, Craig. Okay. So we got, it went off. Okay, so it zeroes out with the plate on it. So that's 556. That one's too big. 493. This one is a perfect. Okay. So I'm going to cut this one in half. 505. A little too big. 447. Woo! Wait, where's that 556? Okay, so I'm going to cut a little piece off of this guy. And we're heading for 492. 481, 479, it just dropped off. And I could take a little piece off of this one. They don't have to be exact, guys. I'm just 492. Holy moly, this one is exactly where it belongs. Okay, now let's see how much difference there is between these two. 492, we got two in a row. Oh my God, I'm gonna need you guys with me all the time. That's 522, 495. So this one is a little bit bigger. So let's cut off a little piece out of this guy. Okay, 491. All right, so we got 4 even ones if it wasn't for this. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to divide it in 1, 2, 4, and these little pieces I'm going to put one here, one here, one here, and one here. Okay, so I'm going to move this over to the side, over to the side, over to the side. Going to flour, flour, flour. I'm going to do that. Okay, then I'm going to turn it over. Okay, I'm going to do that again. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my roller. I'm going to roll it like that. Okay, now I'm going to roll this bread, okay, like that. And I'm going to make it like a rectangle, like that. Oh, Peter, you look like you know what you're doing. How amazing is that? You must be a professional bread maker. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to fold it like a letter. One like that, a little like this, a little bit like this. I'm going to roll it over and I'm going to plop it in the first one. Okay. We're going to deal with that in a second and make it much better, much better. Okay. Going to make a more flour here, more flour here. Okay. Choppa, choppa, choppa. Okay, so now gonna roll this guy. Nice roll. No heavy roll, just a nice roll. Like I like it, like I like it. Okay? And again, I'm gonna mail you a letter. Okay, I'm gonna mail you a letter. I'm gonna fold the letter in half. Okay, like that. I'm going to close this side. I'm going to close this side. I'm going to roll it over and boom, it goes in the middle. The next one, number 2. Okay, number 3. All these little pieces of flour. Okay, I feel so professional. Okay, so I do that. And now I roll a U. There we go. I roll, roll, roll. Okay, make it a little wider so I can fold my letter. Dear John, I no like you no more, so you could take the kids and leave, and I'm going to go and have a party someplace. Okay, so I roll that out. Okay, so I need to mail this letter to Dear John. Okay, close the letter on the left, close it on the right. Roll this guy over. Number 3, she's in the pan. Number 4, you ready to go? Wait till you see what I have to do for the next 30 minutes. While I keep you entertained. Okay. Flour it a little bit. That's just to make it easier for me. I'm sure a real pro will go like, Peter, you're using way too much flour. And I would say like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I'm using just the right amount. Okay, so I'm rolling this. Now, you could use this roller and you can make this really thin and pour cinnamon sugar all over this and roll it up and then roll it into a log, cut it out, put it in muffin pans, and the same dough will make a cinnamon sugar roll for you, okay? So that's why I said I learned a lot from Ashley. Okay, Dear John, I'm writing you a letter, I'm closing it up, and now I'm making it, boom, it's into there, okay? So now I'm rolling. This is a USA pans, by the way. USA pans. I wish I would get one that would roll perfectly there. USA pans are awesome. You'd never wash them, okay? So you don't put soap and wash these. They're silicone. So the main thing is you don't want to scratch them, okay? So I just make it even, okay? So there's the first one. It's down in there. I have it pretty even. Okay, now this is going to go back in the oven, and it's going to come to rise. Okay, so that's one. Number two, I'm just going to use the knuckles now, okay? And then I'm going to actually roll it in the pan to make it spread out and make it even as possible. Oh, how pretty, how nice, okay? This one gonna go in the oven. I feel like I'm working in a store, like a bakery. And everybody, she's waiting for me to make her the bread. And they're all waiting for me to make the bread for them. And I'm going as fast as I can. Everybody, please. I can't go no faster. So, okay. That one is in there. Now we need this one. This one's already starting to rise. So let's just roll this puppy out. Now, I could definitely make this look prettier, but I found it's not necessary, honestly. Honest engine. Honest to God. Honest. Praise the Lord, I'm making bread. Okay, so there we go. That's a number 3. It's going to go in the back of the oven. And she's going to proof for another 30 minutes, okay? I told you. So you're going to be with me for an hour just waiting for dough to rise. So now I'm trying to think of what kind of a story can I tell these people, okay? Because I got my Greek accent and I got my regular American. Come from New York. I was born in New York. Hey, secret. Where were you born? Too much TMI. Too much information. Hey, secret. What's your middle name? TMI. Too much information. Oh, you're fun to have around, buddy. Okay, so I put that in there. Now we close the door and we push the button. 30 in a minute. Now, what am I going to do with you for 30 minutes? I don't know. I can tell you one thing. I'm going to wash my hands. Because my hands, they're dirty. I got a little flour left, as you can see here. Okay. I'm going to get the hot water up here. I'm going to try to wash the dough off my hands with a little water, a little soap. Sorry that I turned my back to you, but I need to get all this sticky goop off. I also need to cut my nails. They're too long. I'm getting dough underneath my fingertips. Okay, so the dough sticks to my fingernails, under my fingernails, my fingertips. But it's fun. I'm not complaining. I probably would, if I was doing this day in and day out, I probably would have a sink that was designed for this. Okay. So now I'm going to put a little liquid Dawn in the pot, and I'm going to let it soak. Let the water do the whatchamacallit. I'm just going to mix the Dawn up. It's like I'm making a Dawn soup. Hey, the soup looks nice. Ine calò tutto to soupa puoi comer pera. Oh, sorry, I just switched over to Greek. Okay, so I'm using nice hot water. Agua de jara. I made it my own new language. Okay, so somebody's got to clean this counter. Is it going to be you? No? Well, then guess what? It's probably going to have to be me. Okay, so let's see who we got in the room now that I can move my hands. I can pick up this thing now and I can read. I'm back. Okay, good. Sly, Secret Stuff Sly Reader will do. $4.92. Thank you for that, Randy. In case I didn't say thank you, you allowed me to actually divide that up easy. I usually have to get the iPhone out of my pocket because I forget. Then the iPhone and my pocket gets full of powder, okay? So Craig says, hi Peter, I really love your almond milk video and I'm really glad to see YouTube Secret Stuff on Earth. I don't know what that means. I'll figure it out. Give me a second. I'm actually as dumb as I look. All right, so I guess since I'm going to clean this up, I'm going to go scrapey, scrapey, scrapey. Try to miss my eyes so I don't hurt myself. Mr. Secret would come and help me if I hurt my eyes and I can't see. So Mr. Secret would have come and help me. So now I scrape this stuff right into the garbage can. You can't see the action that's happening here, but boy, what hot action I got going on. Now, if I was actually recording this, see, I don't know if any of you guys are interested in computer stuff. All right, so all these cameras are being fed into a Mac Mini M1, the cheapest one I could get. Didn't pay for anything extra. It was the $699 one, and I even got it from Apple cheaper because I bought the recertified one. And I bought the Apple Care for $99, which gives it the same warranty as a brand spanking new one. And you know what? When it came here, it was like brand spanking new. It still had the same new cellophane, even the wrapper. So they basically got a return. They probably reformatted the hard drive and sent it out the door as a recertified unit. Okay. So that saved me, what, $130? So it went from $699 to what, $539 or something like that? I don't remember the exact prices, so be careful by quoting me on that. So all these cameras, hello, thumbs up, okay, are being fed into that through whatever is necessary to feed it properly, okay, which I'm not going to go into right now. So there's a few things that you do need. So now I'm wiping the thing that measures the weighing scale for me. It was at pounds, but it used to be like this many ounces, this many pounds. So I just switched it over to grams. So like 1967 divided by 4 was an easy number to actually go through. Okay, so you're watching me clean. I'm cleaning. That's what I'm doing, I'm cleaning. Randy, any comments? Don't fall asleep on me there, dude. Okay. We doing all right here? We got to make any changes? You got to speak up. Sly, same thing for you. Don't be sitting there and drinking your Ovaltine shake. Tell me, we doing good? This is a live stream. Totally unintended. Actually, I never really intended to go live from the kitchen channel. This is supposed to be recorded. What I should have done is just go back live from the kitchen into the Peter Gregg Live channel, and then the people, I guess, from Europe would join in as they're waking up and they're going like, what is he doing? But that's why I didn't do that, because they wouldn't understand why I'm doing something completely different on that channel. There's no one's got any expectations. I don't even know how many people we got here. We got 11. We got 11 people. Gosh, you guys, are you from in the US or are you from overseas? Because overseas it's a different time. And yeah, it would make sense for you to be awake. But if you're like in the US, why are you awake at 2:30 in the morning? Although I guess the people that are in California, it's not 2:30 in the morning. It's if you go back 3 hours, it's like what? 11:30. So that's not bad. Okay, so I just cleaned my scale. I put the little plastic lid on top, and it's going to go back. Okay, to give you an idea of what we got 27 minutes to go. Okay, so if anybody wants to keep track of what I'm doing, I've got 27 minutes to go. I'm going to put this in the cabinet. Close the cabinet. Okay, so I got butter here, and this will be a little bit soft. I've got flour. Da-da-dum, da-da-dum. I don't have a mic in this room like I have in the other room. So now I could probably sing. And now that I have time to sing, there's no mic. Oh my God, who is punishing me? Dear Lord Jesus, this room needs a mic and reverb and all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so this doesn't really get dirty, I have found. I just wipe it off with a damp, not a but a damp cloth, which happens to be a paper towel right here at this moment. Okay, and this guy actually did, it's a very fun and useful tool to use. Okay, so let's see. What do we got going here? Oh, okay. He'll edit later and cut out the boring stuff. No, I'm deleting this. This wasn't professional. It wasn't planned. If it's good enough, I can do exactly like you said. So I'll have to take this off and or leave it on. What's wrong with it? Seriously. What's the boring stuff? You calling me boring? Okay, you asked me where I am from in my middle name. I live on Earth. Okay, I got it. Siki, no problem. You can stay as secret as you want. I was just trying to be polite and nice to you. Nothing, no other agenda. That's because I care about all the people that are my viewers. Randy is watching next week. Do your show from the kitchen. I don't know. I was thinking about that a couple of times, even just this week. What do you think about that, Randy? So, let's see. I am 8 hours from you, Peter. Oh, okay. That's cool. So you're in a different time zone, so it's not that harsh for you. So at 3 o'clock, which will be in a half hour, what's 8 hours? Well, at 9, so you could be from in the Asian. Kippy is from where, Randy? Kippy is from Malaysia, right? And he says it's exactly 12 hours ahead. So Siki here, secret stuff, is 8 hours. So it's probably not in that area. He'll edit later and cut out the boring stuff. Craig says, I'm from South Africa. It's 8:30 in the morning there. Oh, Craig, that's pretty interesting. You're up early and you're watching me bake bread. You feel like you need bread for toast or something? What is that roller called? I'm such a newbie. I don't know. Go to Amazon and see if there's something called a dough roller. I got this from Bread Beckers. Okay, they're not a big company, but it doesn't sound like you're very close, so I don't know who can ship to you and who can't. So look for a dough roller and you might get the wrong kind, you know, that big one that you go back and forth like that. So this hand one is on breadbeckers.com, and that's with an S, breadbeckers.com, okay? Randy says Hawaii. Oh, that'd be cool. Hawaii is cool. I forgot about Hawaii. Secret stuff, TN 2 hours. Tennessee 2 hours from Nashville. Okay, so you're kind of like in the middle. So you can go to Bread Beckers. They're probably just as close to you as they are to me. And look up. This is what it looks like. It's got a roller on both sides. Okay. When we get to the overhead camera, I'll show it to you from there. Actually, I'll lay it down right there so you can see it. Then don't worry about being a newbie. Hey, I've been learning this, and I got brave enough. Okay, here it is. I got brave enough to take the recipe, my mother's recipe, and actually change it, which is like my aunts and other people are like, what's the matter for you? You don't do that. It's the same recipe for the last 200 years. But I'm not going to sit here and make a bread, and it's going to take me from 8 in the morning to 8 at night. I could do it in 2 hours or less, okay, because I learned a few secrets. TN-2 hours, Tennessee. Oh, Nashville. Oh, I have a friend that's in Nashville. Okay. Frozen bananas blended in the blender makes ice cream. Yeah, I know that. You don't have to tell me that, okay? 8 hours drive. The R6 camera, does your wife have the Z50? Okay, I don't get what you're saying, but the R6 doesn't go for 8 hours. I can tell you that secret stuff would run out of battery juice by the time he or she gets any 2 hour. You got a 2 hour window with that camera. Okay, so let's get let's see, do I have a rag here? So I'm going to clean the counter off a little bit. I do, okay. Okay, so I'm going to get some warm water. I'm going to get some warm water, okay, from the sink, in case you're wondering where I'm getting the warm water. In case your mind is going in the wrong direction. And I'm just going to do a little wipe down on the counter. There we go. Ooh, nice and clean. And I made a bread. Can you believe I made a bread in the middle of the night? She's so good. It's wonderful. Yes. So, thank you, Lord. I always give thanks to God when I make bread, because if it wasn't for him, I would be making stone soup. And if you don't know what that is, I've actually had it once. You make soup out of rocks because you don't have money to make anything else. So, I just cleaned the counter. God, at 2:30 in the morning. How much time do we have to go? 20 more minutes. Okay. Okay. It's doing okay. You know what I need? I need a mobile camera. Like I said, if I was going to be, if I knew I was going to be doing this, okay, I would actually have a little different camera setup. But I usually record in here, and like Randy says, I edit it up, okay, and then why don't we get back to the fancier stuff, okay, where I can show you the comments while I'm talking about them. Do I have something to sit on in here? So, Janine says from bananas, frozen bananas, okay. So Randy says 8-hour drive. Randy says David Sailors, or what does that mean? David Sailors or Phil Thack? No, she does not shoot. I shoot wildlife as a hobby with the R6 and the 1-300. So, secret stuff. You know a little bit about cameras. Thumbs up, dude. That is freaking awesome. I am so happy to hear that, because that's exactly kind of what I'm into, okay? So, there we go. Yeah, I noticed, Randy. In case you haven't noticed, I noticed. Just so you know. Cleaning this up. So, we got 10 thumbs up going on here. Thank you so much for giving me the thumbs up. I appreciate it very, very much. Okay, so this is clean. That's all it takes. This thing is pretty. Oh, this comes in a lot of different colors. So if you got a color that I like the orange, because I just wanted something that was different and it felt like a professional piece of machinery. Okay, so now I'm going to hang this off of the drawer so it'll dry. And now what do I got to do? I got to do stand-up comedy for what? 18 minutes? Oh, God, no. All right, so our oven is at 170. It's rising again. And then we are going to cook it after that at a 350-degree oven. And probably, I would say, maybe 20 to 30 minutes. So after this rise, it doesn't take a lot of time. So I'm kind of like fiddling around while I'm, waiting, because I feel a little embarrassed. I don't know what to do for 18 minutes. It's like, okay, who wants to play cards? All right, who's going to deal the cards? All right, so we got the bread in the oven. How long have we been on? Does this thing tell me any of that stuff? Yeah, it's got to tell me on this screen. Okay, so let me walk over there and take a look. I've been on for 1 hour and 58 minutes. So it does take about 2 hours to make this. Okay, it does take about 2 hours to make this. So there we go. I'll tell you one thing, secret stuff. If you want to teach me, I like how you do that stuff on there. You see where it says secret stuff? See the stuff before and after? I think that's kind of nice looking. Okay. No, she does not shoot. So it looks like you have secret stuff, and it looks like there's a cross on each side of your name. Then it's got like a design on each side of that. So that's pretty cool. I do have to give you a thumbs up on that, big boy. Yes, I really do. So you're up in the country area, huh? So what do I do with you guys for 16 minutes and 12 seconds? Well, who's got a joke? I'll read jokes. Anybody have a decent joke? If not, then I'll just make up some jokes. All right, so just copy and paste it in your name on YouTube is all. Thumbs up. First, for the first name, copy the front, then add the other to the last name. Do you get comments on it often, or people don't appreciate it that much? I think it kind of looks good. Okay, so if you had a channel, it would be called Secret Stuff, right? That's why I have that in kind of like gold, and then I have your comment in white, so people can tell. All right, so I really have this desire to sit down, so let me go into the Christmas room. Secret Stuff, have you seen me in the Christmas room? So let me go into the Christmas room and get the stool. Actually, I should have another stool besides that one, and I will be able to sit and talk to you. Yes, I do have another stool. How cool is that? And it's a cushioned one too. Hey Randy, does this mic reach all the way to the Christmas room? When I come in here, does it break up, or I'm out of the Christmas room now. I'm in the big old Christmas room now, and I can actually see the receiver, so it's line of sight. So when I walk into the Christmas room, does it break up? Randy, Sly, anybody? Craig, Secret Stuff? Okay, now I'm gonna sit. I'm gonna sit here until I hear the beep, and then the action starts all over again. So let's bring this over. Come on, you can do it. There we go. It's funny watching me because there's a delay. So it's funny to watch me with the delay. Let's see, I've got, all right, I can lean this back. Peter, you are good, no breaking. So I can walk from here to the Christmas room and it doesn't break up. That is pretty cool. All right, so let's do some of the comments. Okay. Of course, it's not the boring. Of course it's not boring. So Stuffy says, what is that roller called? Let me see if I can find that for you. I'm not sure if I can do that. I'm not sure how to do that. I got right here. Oh, but you're going to want the link. I was going to say I could find it right here. Okay, so let's leave this for a second. Come back here and go and put Brett Beckers. breadbeckers.com. Okay, so I got that typed in, and I'm going to do a search for roller. It's not very good in terms of, and there it is. It's called a pastry wooden roller, $6.85. So if you can, Stuffy, put in bread space Beckers space pastry roller wooden, and you should come up with it, and it should be $6.85. All right, so let me look that up in Amazon real quick. Okay, Amazon.com. Did this thing stop going round and round? Amazon.com. Let's put in wooden pastry. Why isn't it going round and round? Did something happen? Okay, I'll have to keep an eye on that. Wooden pastry roller. Right there, wooden pastry roller on Amazon. A little more expensive, but you get, if you got Prime, it's let's see. I like the one that is $8.99, but it only has the one side. Okay, so let's see if they've got more than one choice here. Yeah, they got more than one choice. I might get me another one. I really want to roll it the wide way from one end to the other to make it nice and smooth. That would be really cool. So they actually have one. Now I don't want the USA pans to get scratched. So are we getting stuck over here? Is it coming to this camera and then getting stuck? No, it's not. Okay, we're okay. Don't get up. Don't get up. We're fine. Okay, so wooden, W-O-O-D-E-N, pastry roller. You got it. Ask and whatever the rest of that scripture is. Okay, so let's go back over. I'm watching Peter Gregg. It's so much fun to watch him. Okay, so let's get back into this and come down to the end. Secret stuff, just subscribe to your channel. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Sly, heard you all the way. Thank you, Sly. Peter, you're good, no breaking. Thank you, Randy. See, I should be able to pop this onto the screen. Yeah, now you're talking. Now you're cooking with gas. But I can use this. I wonder, what's that thing called, the Stream Deck? Is it the Stream Deck where you just push the buttons? For this room, I really need one of those. You know why? My hands get full of crap, chocolate or stuff like that, and all I got to do is use the pinky. I can always wipe my pinky on the apron and then tap, and I can change cameras. That is something to shoot for. But we're working on the Tesla. Let's go all the way to the bottom. Okay, secret stuff, subscribe to your channel. Did we gain a subscriber here? Good. If you did, I thank you. I heard you all the way. Sly Reader, that's great. Okay, now since I have the time, don't get annoyed, okay? But I'd like to make that a little bit bigger. I'd like to make the strip a little bit bigger, and the reason is I still have a little bit of a hard time reading that, okay? So I'm going to unlock all the cameras one at a time. Those of you that have patience, God bless you. Okay, so I just unlocked all the cameras. Okay, so I'm going to remove this. Bye, Sly. Okay, she's gone. All right, now I'm going to add a comment from Sly. Now I'm going to try and edit that. Okay. How? How do I edit it? Okay. I need to find what size we're at and make it bigger. Okay, so I need it to jump up in size. All right, let's move it to the middle and let's make it bigger. Why won't it get bigger? What if I wanted it wider? I guess that's all I can do. I guess that's all I can do is from left to right. That's as big as I can get. Well, it did make it a little bigger, so it's a little, the whole purpose of this is so I can see what I'm doing, okay? So I can read that. So I can almost read it, Sly. Amazon has a marble, blah, blah, blah. All right, so I'm going to go over there and see if I can actually pick out the font size. So much for getting a chair to sit on, huh? Okay, so I'm going to come over here. And I'm going to try to make the font a little bit bigger. So that's what you're looking for if you're wondering, what is he doing now? Okay. All right, so it doesn't tell me what size I'm actually on right now. Oh, yes, it does, 27. All right, so let's go from 27 to 30. .30 is 3.0 and click Save. Did that get bigger? I think it got bigger. Okay, all right, if we could do 30, then maybe we can do even a little bit bigger than that. How about 36? Save. Okay, that's a bigger. She's a bigger now. I don't care what you say, that's a bigger. Okay, so we close that. Now, I need to do that on this camera. Okay, Randy, Peter. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now let's lock down these cameras. And let me go back over to the kitchen counter and find out if it stays or if it doesn't stay. Okay? All right, so I'm taking this seriously. We got 12, 13 thumbs ups. That's amazing. Gosh. And this channel is monetized. I don't know what that means. Well, I know what that means, but I mean, it doesn't do anything here. Well, I guess, yeah, the super chats would work here. Okay. All right. So, the big test. All right, Randy, write, or Sly, write a new comment and put it in so it comes in at the bottom. Say hello, Peter. How you doing, Peter? So nice to have you back with us again. Let's see how much time we've got to go. Oh, only 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Woo! Somebody write a new comment. Okay, Sly did it. Okay, drum roll, please. Randy did it, and Sly. Look at that. The bigger font looks good for short comments, but what does it look like for long comments? As long as I can read it, who cares? And Randy said, comment. I'm so glad you commented, Randy. Okay, so let's see if we go to the rolling cameras, if it stays. If I go over to Sly, okay, not bad, not bad. And if anybody leaves a really big comment, I can always read it on the side if I don't have this here, so I can see it. Okay, so I think we're doing something here. I really do. I think I'm doing something. So let's go over to secret. This way I could see that beautiful gold, the cross, and then the whatchamacallit on each side. So pretty, so nice. I like it when a graphic thing works out. So Sly or anybody, Randy, how's the exposure on this? Actually, my hand doesn't look half bad, to be honest with you. The counter looks a little bit too bright, but the actual item, which you're going to see in a minute, actually is not exposed incorrectly. I'm doing that with a LUT. I think I explained that in the show tonight, that I learned how to make a LUT, and I have a LUT applied for the Olympus, and I have a LUT applied for the exposure. It's excellent. Woohoo! Okay. I wonder if I can lower that a little bit. Well, if it goes over into 2 or 3 lines, maybe not. Okay. So, no focus breathing. It's on manual focus. I am not letting that guy up there do its own focus. So when I turn it on, what I do is I take a couple of forks or a couple of spoons, and I just lay them down on the counter, and then I just tap on the screen and click set. That's it. So what I actually lose is, like if it was a 6100, I can actually raise something up there. See now how the hands, they're not really that good in focus, but we are at f2.5 on a micro four thirds. So it gets sharper because it's focused down here at the counter. So that is what we've got going. Okay, I do need to clean over here because as I slide this thing, she's not sliding very good. So how are you handling this long live bread making thing? It feels a little weird from this side. I mean, I'm sitting here waiting for the dough. Now, if we had to wait 2 hours, I would have to cut it off and say, meet me back here at a certain time, okay? But 30 minutes with this new method of raising the dough, that draw needs a little oil, if you ask me, not one to say anything. Okay, so let's dry that. nice and dry. Okay, so in 2 minutes, 120 seconds, that comment should leave all by itself. And then we actually got some nice setup stuff going. Really, I got to set up a lot of stuff. If it wasn't for you guys helping, this would not get done. I need you know, somebody out there that's watching that can give great feedback, and that seems to include all of you guys. How many people we have in here now? We've got 12 on the iPad. So, and on there we have 13. So I don't know if somebody's coming and going. I wouldn't blame them. I mean, this can get really boring. Now that I have clean hands, I can touch my iPhone and it's all set. So there we go. So how long we have to go still? Anybody keeping track of time? Yeah, I got the timer up there. It'll beep. It'll start to beep. And what am I going to do when it starts to beep? I'm going to very gently bring them out and put them on the counter. Speaking of the beep, right on time. Okay. So now they're going to be too hard or too hot for me to hold, but I bet some of you guys would be able to hold it just fine. Okay. All right. So I'm going to take this out nice and gentle, very, very gentle. Okay. Now, if I had the liquid butter, I would spray these with liquid butter right now before I put them in to cook. But I'm going to do it at the end instead of now. Okay, because I really can't get the liquid butter to work all that well. But I will. Give me time. I mean, if I can get cameras to work, I can get liquid butter to work. Okay, so here's number 2. Okay, so this is more than doubled. I would say this possibly tripled. So this method ain't half bad. 30 minutes per rise, Randy. 170 degree oven. I did test it with 2 of these thermostat things, and it is at 170. So it's actually fairly accurate. So the 350 is not accurate. I have to put it at 365 to get a real 350. Okay. So she said to move these really gentle. Okay, and now, all right, so that's all 4. This is the second rise. Okay, so now I'm going to close the oven, and I'm going to move it up to 350. This oven needs to go to 365 to handle the 350. I've got the aluminum sheets ready to go. All right, so I'm going to give this a little bit of time. How much time to bring it from 170 to 350? About 5 minutes. All right, we'll give it 5 minutes. So this is what they look like. Did you guys get a nice close-up of this? Did it do it? Let's see if I can change the camera angle. There we go. Okay, so let's go over here. And let's move the camera angle like that. That's number 1, 2, 3, 4. I no touch of this, okay? You can see right here I got a little crease. But when this hits the heat, woo-wee, it's going to rise, I would say another inch, maybe even more, okay? So that is what I've got. Okay, now when they come out for the next time, I'm going to need a rack so that these are not hot enough to burn the foam maker, okay? But when they come out of the 350 degree oven, they will be hot enough to actually do that. All right, so on, let's see, the smallest one, which one would you say is the smallest one? I would say it might be this guy right here. All right, so I'm going to put a temperature probe in that one, and when this hits 195 degrees, pulling them out, and then they'll go over 200 on their own, and this will make some really, really amazing bread. Okay, so Okay, I'm watching. So the latency now has gotten really, really behind. So I'm actually seeing me take them out of the oven. So I'll probably have these back in the oven by the time what you're watching catches up. Okay, so that is what we've got going. This is fun. I was just a little bit nervous. It's 3:01 in the morning now. Okay, so I was a little bit nervous to do this, but I no longer feel nervous at all. Okay, so I don't need this to stay on this camera. I'm going to go back to the cameras that go round and round. So since I did all this, let's see what I look like. Do I got powder on my face? No, actually, not too bad. All right, so now let's see what's happening with the oven. Yeah, it's building up the heat. The heat is on. The heat is on. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, the heat is on. All right, so what am I waiting for? I want to hit this with a 350-degree oven rather than climb from 170 to 350. I don't know what the difference is, but Ashley said to do it like this. So since everything has worked so far, you know, maybe one day I will try it and see what happens if I just change it from 170 to 350 and it does a slow climb. Maybe that will work perfectly fine, and maybe it won't. Okay, so that is what we've got going on. So what am I waiting for? I'm waiting for the oven to climb to the 350-degree temperature. So the battery's all working on my lav mic. This thing has gone for a long time tonight. What way did we do? 2 hours, 2.5 hours in the Christmas room with the live, and now we're doing another 2 hours. I kind of expected the battery to die. Oh, Sly, I could read that so beautiful. When you have time, look into Beam Butter Sprayer version 2. Might be what you're looking for. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I'd rather put butter on here than the other stuff that's got hydrogenated oil and things like that. So I appreciate that. Beam. I better write that down. Do I have anything to write it down with? No. Do I have a pen handy? Yes, but it's over by the computer. But you know what? That can be fixed real easy by 2 feet. B-I-E-M butter sprayer. So let's write that down. I'm sitting at the computer. B-I-E-M butter sprayer. V2. Okay, there might be a version 2. So what needs to happen with the butter, up I hear the beep, 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 beep. Okay, that means the oven should be close to 350 by now. I gave it 5 minutes to climb. You guys that are oven specialists, tell me if I'm on the mark, or maybe I need to give that 10 minutes or more. Okay. Well, Peter, why don't you put one of these things in? I won't have room. Okay. All right. Yeah, the red is, the coil on the bottom is still red. All right. So when that goes away, then I will put this in, and let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this probe. I'm going to clean it first. I'm going to oil it, and this probe, right over there. All right, so that probe, I'm going to stick it in the smaller of the 4 lobes. Gosh, maybe I'm getting tired. Maybe I'm going to sleep really good tonight. And these will be cooked to temperature. So I thought I had that centerized. What happened? Did that camera move up there? No, it didn't. Okay. So I do need to oil the probe. Am I going to be able to pick these up? Yeah, easy. I'm going to be able to pick that up easily. Let's move this here. Okay. She did say very gentle. Okay, what am I waiting for? Oh, I want that red. I want the coil to stop being red. So it's still red. So it's still climbing to its temperature. Okay. And then it's going to smell in here the most amazing smell that you've heard or smelled in ages. And I mean ages and ages. It should wake everybody in the house up. Although there's nobody here to wake up. Okay, so here we go. I think the red is diminishing. No, it came right back up. Okay, so I don't leave you guys alone. Okay, I am actually looking in the glass window at the heating element. Okay, I bet you if I turn the broiler on for a good 5 minutes and then set the oven to 350, it would be a lot faster than what I'm doing. Good idea, Randy. Sly, I'm so happy you thought of that. Oh, you guys have been talking to me? Randy said, it was centerized, but you put down the pot holders and it looked like something out of center. Okay, so yeah. I don't know why that would move. Okay, so let's go over here and just move it. Move it back. Oh, not that one. Not that one. Stay still. Let's go back to that one. Okay. There we go. There we go. Okay. Let me get out of here before I cause any damage. Okay. Okay, so there we go. All right. Oh, let me check the red and the element and see what we're doing in there. Let me put my. Oh yeah, it's hot in there. H-O-T, hot. Okay, so we're gonna start putting these guys in one at a time. Number one, in you go, baby boy. Very careful, Peter. Don't burn yourself. Okay, all the way to the back. There you go. All right, number two, in you go. Okay, slide it gently. We don't want to jar it. All the way, touching the next guy. All right, and I believe this one is the one I'm going to put the probe in. So this will be number 3. Okay, put that in there. Okay, now I'm going to close the door so it can continue to heat up. Okay, so now I need to oil this probe so that it goes in. Okay, so I'm going to oil it. You know what? I'm just going to stick it right through the butter. I think that's cheating. Honestly, I think that was cheating. All right, so I'm going to turn this on, this camera, so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to stick this. Oh, the butter makes it glide right in. Woo! Okay, I want it to stay high because the bottom is going to cook. All right, and I need this to hang out. And now I can put this guy into the oven, except one major problem, I did not open the oven. Did anybody ever call me a dummy? Yeah, they sure have. All right, so let's open this. Slide that in. I wish you could see the picture of this. This is pretty awesome. Okay. And now I'm going to take this. I'm going to close the door. I'm going to get my aluminum foil ready. I'm going to set the temperature probe to 195. Okay. All right, so it's at 124 degrees now. It's got a 350 degree oven going, and I'm going to set a timer for 10 minutes or 11 minutes. And then I'm going to get the Randy aluminum foil ready. Okay. So these are the sheets of aluminum foil that I actually lay over the top so that the tops don't burn. That was taught to me by a master baker named Randy Master Baker. Okay, so I'm going to do that. If I go too quickly, I rip them. Then I got to get a new one. So I just go nice and slow. I make this nice and flat. We still got people here watching me make bread? Good golly, Miss Molly. Yes, we do. Okay, you're about to see the bread come out. Ready and pretty. Okay, so now I made the aluminum foils. Okay, so normally I would just go like this, okay? I have ripped them by doing that. So now, haste makes waste. I can just make these flat, and these will lay directly over, okay? And let's see. What did Randy say? It was centered. Okay, I think I fixed that. When you have two YouTube channels on at the same time, the second one is always behind. I'm not broadcasting this twice, am I? Oh, don't scare me like that. This should be going out of one channel. Okay, I only think it's going out of one channel. I don't think it's going out of two. And if it is, I'd like to know how I did that. I think I just misunderstood you, Randy. Not a problem. Okay. So, got to get my hot things ready. Let's see what temperature we're up to. This client's pretty quick because it starts. Okay. All right, so we're at 123 degrees, which means I put that probe in a good spot. Thank you, Lord. These things are puffing up like a puffer, puffed up, a puff, 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 a puffer. Okay, so what am I going to do next? Okay, I'm going to get the rack. Oh. Okay, so this is the rack. I will take the bread and put it on this rack. See, I can leave the comment on there, and in 120 seconds, it automatically turns it off. So now I actually do stay in the kitchen where the other stuff, while this is, 30 minutes on proofing, okay, I actually will leave because I will hear the timer anywhere in the house. But over here, it can go from cooked just right to overcooked. Oh my, what a good snapper I did that time. Just like that. So that is why I stay here. I stay put. The camera is up on the ceiling. It seems to be doing fine. The Olympus, solid as a rock. And everything is doing very, very well. Okay, so all we're doing now is we're waiting for the internal of the bread. It's at 124 now. To hit 197 degrees. It is really rising. I would say it's risen another, all right, maybe I'm exaggerating. So a ½ inch, I'll cut it in half. I was going to say a whole inch already. Okay, but when I take them out, guess what? You will see. You will see exactly what's going on. So now we only got 6 watching. Okay, so all the people that were curious before have come and gone. So Sly and Randy, if you want to go to bed, it's like 3:14 here. So it's 2:14 for Randy. And I'm guessing it's 2:14. Well, I know Sly will stay up all night. So it's like I'm having a conversation with you, Sly, but I don't have somebody else to rest between the conversations. I should have a piece of chocolate cake, right? Don't I deserve a nice piece of chocolate cake? All right, so this is good flour. So I've been putting the good flour back in the bag, Randy, unless you got a reason for me not to. This stuff is, I don't want to throw it away. You know, there's a good inch of flour in here. It's clean. I see absolutely nothing wrong with it. So unless you say, Peter, don't ever do that, I'm putting this back in. Ta-da! Too late, Randy. Okay, it's back in. So for anyone that's interested, Yeah, I think you're right, Randy. For this to survive, I'm going to have to cut out most of this, all this waiting stuff. This is Pillsbury Best bread flour. Okay, I'll put this over here. All this stuff will go in the dishwasher, and I will put it on its magic cycle, and it will take care of it all by morning. So let's see if we have started our heat climb. Yes, we started it. Okay. So it's at 127 degrees. Okay, now once it starts to climb, it takes a little time for the heat to get into the middle. Okay, but once it starts to climb, it does it quickly, then it slows down, and then quickly. That's why I can't leave the room. Otherwise, I will actually wind up having burnt bread. Okay, excuse me. So since I don't have the chocolate cake here, I have, wait, this is a broken Oreo. This one is broken too. Now, what I should be eating right now is some Greek yogurt with a little honey on it and being a little bit healthy. Instead, Sly told me to eat Oreo cookies. If Uncle G ever saw this, Sly, he probably would tell you to run. Get away from that guy as fast as you can. So this is the end of the buttermilk. I'm going to have to go tomorrow and get some, if I remember. No more buttermilk. I did a little reading on buttermilk. It's supposed to be healthy. It's sour enough to say it's healthy. Oh, thank you. I will do that now. I don't know how to refresh, so I'm going to go back into it. Oh, cool. So I'm waving, and I will tell you, less than 10 seconds. Randy, that is so cool. Okay, it says, Randy, no, Sly. I don't know what kind of batteries you use, but Amazon has Duracell Optimum really cheap for the deal of the day. I use Antelope, and I got a special charger that's designed for them. They've been with me for years. I just lose them, and I have to buy more. If I gave you a list, would you do my shopping for me? Yes, I would. That's something that I can do. So I will do what I can do. Okay, we're up to 142 degrees, guys. The bread is starting to brown, so the Randall aluminum foil sheets are about to go into play. Oops. I threw something in the garbage and completely missed it. Oh, the house is starting to smell like fresh baked bread. Dear Lord, that means that these aluminum sheets are going to need to be deployed. It's starting to look like bread is baking. It's starting to smell like bread is baking. We're up to 150 degrees and climbing. I feel like an airline pilot when I do this. Okay. All right, so that's been 11 minutes. I'm going to take a quick peek. Oh yeah, this thing needs the aluminum sheets. Might even be overdone. Let's get one across the back. That was 11 minutes, guys. That was a surprise. Okay, that's 2 sheets. Boy, if I did this often, I would have to get an oven cam. If I were you, I'd be like, what's he doing? What's he doing? Okay, so now I let all the hot air out. Okay, so now we've got, I would actually take a picture and put it in, well, maybe I should. Good idea. Whoever thought of that, not bad. Okay. So if I do decide to edit this later, I don't know if this video is good enough, but we'll find out. The channel doesn't have all that much stuff going on. Rain is coming into your area this weekend, Peter. Well, tomorrow is Saturday. Tomorrow I will probably be, what is it, 3:30? So I'm probably not going to get to sleep till about 5. So I probably will sleep till 12:01. If I'm lazy, maybe 2. I try to get a solid 8 in, but it doesn't always happen. And then tomorrow night, I'm hoping we go to my brother's house because I'm hoping to get some brisket there. I don't know, I just feel like brisket. Ah! This thing rocks back and forth. I'm not going to play with it, Sly, because it's going to break. I'm pretty sure. So, but you've had rain a while back. And you know exactly how it is. So rain is coming, rain is coming. Let's see what temperature we're up to. Remember, we're working our way to 197. We're at 173. So the hotter it gets, the quicker it rolls. So basically, we've got 22 or 23 degrees to climb. Those 22 or 23 degrees, bam, they come fast, which is why I can't leave the room. I have had burnt bread before because of that. Okay, so now I learned to keep my eye out on what we're doing. And that is the name of that tune. Okay, getting closer. We're at 181. Actually, I do like my bread a little undercooked, a little bit doughy. I don't know, that tastes good to me, especially since it gets put in the refrigerator, it gets dried out. So when it's a little bit undercooked, that's, in my opinion, is a good thing. Okay? So when this reaches the temperature, it's going to beep, and I'm going to use this temperature pen, which is a stick, and I'm going to stick it in and confirm that I have the right temperature, just so I don't just ruin 4 loaves of bread, because I've done that too. If I don't slide the probe in at the right angle, it goes down deep and then the bottom of the bread, it gets hot because it's sitting right over whatchamacallit, the element. Okay, so now we've reached the temperature. So now I'm going to do a manual. First, I'm going to shut this thing up. Okay, so now I'm going to do a manual check. I'm going to open the oven. I'll talk you through it so you don't get all upset. I'm going to let it go up another 2 degrees while I'm waiting. Okay, all right, now I'm going to open. I'm going to take the Randall aluminum foils off and set them aside. There's one. There's two. There's three. Oh, this one's rough to get. Okay. There's four. Ooh, that back one's got really brown this time. Should have waited less. Okay. Yep, right temperature. Perfect. Let's check the next one back. Perfect. Let's check this one here. That one's a little hotter. Okay. So we're right spot on. Okay, so I've got to put my gloves on so I don't get burned. And then I got to pull the probe out so that the probe doesn't burn me because it's hot. It's in the oven. I'm just kind of narrating it to you guys because I know you can't see what I'm doing over in the oven. All right, so what you'll see next is basically me bringing the loaves of bread out one at a time. So I'm going to pull it out gently. Okay. Okay, so here's the first loaf. Here's the second loaf. I've done many patterns with this. Here's the third loaf. And then finally, the one in the back, the one that's, I thought it was more brown than the others, but it's not too bad when you get to the upper camera, okay? So that's all the loaves. Okay, now close the oven, shut it off, take the gloves off, turn off the light. All right, so now what I do is I take a stick of butter, I peel it back, and then I ever so gently just rub the butter over the hot bread. I have to tell you that the smell in here is absolutely amazing. So this, you know, there's different kind of breads where you get like a really hard crust when you cut through it. If I don't butter it, that's what you'll get. And some people actually like that. Okay. I don't. I like the crust to stay soft. So I butter the top. The bread will suck it in, actually. So I'm just being gentle and slow. We're done with the cooking of the bread. This bread is finished. Okay. So there we go. I'm just buttering the top of the bread. Each one gets a little bit of butter. I had to look up to see. What is the cameras doing? I forgot about the cameras. This bread is radiating a heat, and it's also radiating a amazingly good smell. Okay. So just give it about 3 or 4 minutes, and this bread sucks in this butter. See, I'm starting to go quick, and I'm starting to peel the travel that I'm doing here. There we go. The bread is buttered now. And that's it. We have 4 fresh loaves of bread. These will look dry in about 20 minutes, like I didn't butter them. The butter will get absorbed. Okay, now for safety's sake, oven is off. I'm just letting you know. Timers are off, so I'm not going to get woken up in the middle of the night by something timing at me. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over. Might as well take a picture of this too, in case this actually survives. That's one. See if I can get one from back here. Okay, so I gotten a few shots. So if this video does survive, I got some pictures that I can put in there. All right, so now I'm going to move the mouse over. And what is it that I want to do? Oh, I want to get a pan. You'll see. Just hold on. You'll see. Okay. All right, so I need another pot holder. There it is. Just the guy I'm looking for. Okay, so I'm going to put these up on a pot holder. Probably don't need them, but I'm a little bit safety oriented from burning the counter. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of jumbling around. Oh, before I put this away, I do need another 2 pot holders. I got them. Don't get up. I got them. Anybody still in here? Yeah, 8 people. Gotta say, I'm kind of surprised. I'm kind of surprised. What are you doing up at 3:33 in the morning? Okay, so let's take these off the rack. Like that. Now I'm going to take this. I'm actually going to roll it out. Put this here. Roll this back up. And put it over in the corner. Number 2, are you ready to come out? There we go. Roll it back up. Up, there we go. Number 3. What about you, buddy? You ready to come out of your little pot? Boom. That's USA pans. That's how good they are. I've done this with other kind of pans. It's basically a no-no. Okay, and number 4. And we have 4 loaves of fresh baked bread. And they are now in the cooling mode. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you could take your cameras out and take pictures of this beautiful, delicious looking, amazing smelling bread. Okay, I'm washing these gloves while they're on my hands because it's easier to do it then. Okay, so that's the orange gloves, silicone gloves. So you stayed up, Randy? You stay up, Sly? This has got to be probably a really unusual thing for you to watch. It was fun to make, fun to do. This is cooled down and it never got dirtied. So I'm putting it right back in, so one less thing I gotta wash. That's Mother and Dad's, all their pans. Okay. Do we still have our mic? I didn't even check it. Yes, we do. So, let's see. Let's back up. Oh, you guys have been making comments. I read that one. If I gave you a list, would you go do your shopping? That's the last one I left off at. Rain is coming in your area for the weekend, Peter. Good. I like rain. Are we cooking briskets soon? Please say yes. While I'm actually cooking bread, you're asking me what I'm going to cook next? Are you serious? I can't believe you, Sly. No, you know what I'm cooking next? I am cooking the chicken thighs with the leg attached, with the skin and the bones. Then I have baby back ribs. At that point, I could go shopping and buy some brisket. Okay, so you're an impatient person. Hello? Remember, the inner bread in the oven is always done before the outer ones. Yeah, would it help if I have a convection oven? I'm not going to change the ovens, but I can't help but think that. What's the point of the convection oven? Isn't it to get the air to go and be more even? I noticed the ones at the back. Well, actually, this doesn't look half bad. I can't tell you which one it is anymore. Okay, but the ones in the back are usually cooked more than the ones in the front. So I got to be careful. So what I actually do is the temperature goes in the one on the side. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, and that's all it fits. And then I have one on the side. So I put the temperature probe in the one on the side. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, so cool job, Peter. Thank you, Randy. I need a tap on the back right now. I'm ready to fall asleep. And I'm tired. Put the pics of the finished bread in your Facebook Live group, Peter. That's a good idea. That looks delicious. Last thing is to hide the bread from your brother. Yeah. Well, everybody knows not to cut it until I cut it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay a piece of parchment paper over this, and then I'm going to lay a towel over it so it can cool gently. I don't like it when it goes down or something. But this is so soft. I can't tell you how soft this is. It just feels like pastry soft. So I'll hide it from my brother. Renee, I haven't seen you in here all night. Thank you. I'm very grateful for your time and sharing of your delicious. I do speak English, but not at 3:39 in the morning. I do speak English. Did I say delicious? Delicious bread baking. Enjoyed it very much. Gotta bake some now. Well, you got a really different way to bake it. You could do this in the KitchenAid. Nobody's got to go run out and buy a different mixer. You can actually do it by hand. You ought to watch some of the older ladies that make bread, and you get a lot of wonderful little clues. However, none of those clues added up to what I just did tonight. Okay, I used to put the dough in the bowl. I used to put it on the kitchen table. I used to turn the air conditioner off. I did it exactly like my mom. Okay, and she put a towel over the whole thing. She would time it for 3 hours, and it would raise up. Then she would come here and beat on it and beat on it and beat on it. And that's when she turned it into the Greek bread, which is braided, which I don't do. I just make a blob and I put it right in the pan and I'm done. One and done. This is Greek bread, okay? No braiding, just done. So what is Greek bread? It's sweet butter, egg, and milk bread, okay? It's similar to a brioche, but the egg content is a little higher, okay? So it tastes like a little bit like a cake bread. All right, so that's what that looks like. So you can use a KitchenAid. The only thing that would be different is you want it to pull away from the walls while got that kneading hook going. So you'll keep adding flour a little at a time, otherwise you'll pile it on and you'll over flour it and it'll be a heavy loaf of bread. Okay, and then you could do the same thing that I did. Set your oven, preheat it to 170. Put the pot in there, 30 minutes. If you want to go 35 minutes, that's up to you. And then bring it out here, beat it up, get yourself one of those rollers. This thing, whoo, what a time saver. Without this, it's all by hand, okay? So that rolls it out into what you see here. I could be better at the rolling it out, I'll be honest with you. But this is going to go in the belly. The rolling it out perfectly, you know, that doesn't need to happen. This is hand-baked bread. So Sly says, I'm fading fast and have to work tomorrow. Okay, go to bed. Talk to you soon. Good night. Love all of you guys. If you guys are dropping off here. Renee is giving me a smile and a thumbs up. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Unless you want to, I'm going to let this sit out for about another 10 minutes. Then I'm going to get parchment paper like this, and that's so I will allow the bread to dry. I mean the butter that I put in there to dry. So I will put parchment paper right over the top, and then I will put a towel over the parchment paper, and then I'm heading to bed. I'm going bye-bye. Nighty-night. Good night. That's what I'm going to do. So I love all of you guys. The best thing to hear is that somebody loves you. So even you guys that I don't know, thank you for being here. I love you guys too. So on that, good night. I don't even know how to get out of here. Oh, yes, I do. I can click the finish button. So good night, Renee. Renee. There you go. All right. Love you guys. Let's get to a camera where you can see my face. Where's my face? Oh, what a nice face. You know, I would actually pick up a piece of bread now, but it's still too hot. Okay. And I should put it, I need to do that, don't I? I need to make a thumbnail. So I'm going to put it on the pot holder. Okay, here's the thumb. Let's do it without the glasses. Fresh bread. Hot fresh bread. I can feel the heat. If I shut up, I get a good picture. All right, that's the thumb. All right. Let's put this gently back over here. And I think I'm ready to end the show. Let's see how long it is, just for record's sake. I can't see it from here. Does it tell me over here? No. All right, so let me go over there and I'll read it to you, and then we'll sign off. All right, so this show is 3 hours and 2 minutes. Who else can make bread in 3 hours, finished and on the rack? So this actually came out better than I thought. Okay, I'm going to hit the finish button. Good night, guys. I love you. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye. Oh, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I forgot about that.